Welcome to the first episode of the Talk Yours podcast. We've been trying to do this for months, but we're finally going to get to it now. So my name's Corby, and you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Luke.
I'm Camden.
I'm Mateen.
Okay. And I want to go ahead and before we say anything or do anything that we were planning to do, I want to say our favorite teams and biases and all that kind of stuff, just so that people take a grain of salt of what we're doing.
That's fair.
So, I'm a Hawks fan who is very biased towards almost all Hawks players. Zion, Chet, a lot of number one picks. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of number one picks get a lot of hate, so I normally am a fan of number one or two picks. So
you're a big Paolo fan?
No, Chet, not Paolo.
All right, I'm a Paul George fan, really Clippers fan, but I base Paul George off everything I do.
I'm a Warriors fan, which I know it's not a good look. But I would say I'm not too biased when it comes to a lot of Warriors players. I'm more biased towards, I don't know, I just really like athletic small forwards. I gotta be honest. Like it's a weird thing, but like anyone who's like Kawhi, Andrew Wiggins, you know, just any of those guys, I really like long athletic wings. So
I am a LeBron fan first and foremost, but my favorite team is the Lakers.
Wait, are you a Lakers fan first or LeBron fan? I've always heard Lakers fan first.
If it comes down to it, I'm a LeBron fan. Like if it boils down to it, like to the core, I'm a LeBron fan.
Okay, that's news to me.
But I'm a Lakers fan. Like if I had to say my favorite team, I'm a Lakers fan. Even if like when LeBron retires, I'll be a Lakers fan. I am a Luka connoisseur. I believe he's the best player in the league. I will stand by that till I die. But yeah, let's get this thing started.
Okay. Do you guys have any kind of topics you want to get into? So the main topic we're going to talk about is ranking the 35 best point guards. Mm-hmm. If your player's not on the list, he's probably not a point guard. That's all I'm going to say. Anything you want to talk about, or let's just get right into the list?
I mean, we could talk about this at any time, I guess. But what do you guys think about the Dejounte Murray Paolo beef?
I think it's corny.
It's corny.
It's corny.
Listen,
Dejounte corny.
It's so corny.
New Hawk, Dejounte Murray. I don't think I'm biased when I say this. Both are corny, but at the same time, this is really good for the league because now a Hawks Magic game is must-watch TV. At least the first one. The first one is, which would never happen in a million years if this wasn't the case. But it's very corny. It's corny to unfollow someone on Instagram, but at the same time, it's corny to care or point it out. You know, and unfollowing on Instagram shouldn't really mean anything. He didn't have to say anything. He could have just went about his day. You know what I mean?
I guess, but even Dejounte said they were friends since they were growing up, so just unfollowing him for a pro-am game.
Were they friends?
Lame. Yes. Dejounte said
apparently Paulo rebounded for Dejounte when Dejounte was like first in the league.
Oh, well.
I don't know why that matters, but I think it's stupid, bro. Yeah. Like Paulo hasn't played a minute. You're an all-star. Get over it. I don't.
I mean, it's not a good look for Dejounte, especially the other stuff he's been doing in the pro-am leagues. Like, it's just not a great look for him. I like, you know, how competitive he is, and I definitely am excited to see that during the season. But for him to be like so pressed, you know, it's just.
But I do see a lot of people say that this Atlanta changed him, which that could be a little bit of it.
He's been there for like a month.
But I think that this is the real him. San Antonio they're really good at keeping their players straight basketball. I mean, look at, you know, their best players ever, Tim Duncan. I guess Tony Parker, didn't Tony Parker, besides the whole, I think he cheated on someone's wife or whatever, but before that, he got into some beef when he went into Charlotte.
What do you mean cheated on?
Yeah,
his own wife?
No, he fucked the teammates. Brent Barry's wife.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Brent Barry.
He kept that under wraps pretty well.
I know.
Yeah.
San Antonio's good at that.
Yeah, they're really good at that. So now that he's on the Hawks, I think this is the real him. But I think he is kind of exaggerating a little bit. Maybe next summer he's going to chill out. But he's been disrespecting. Yeah. I don't know. But, okay. So, the main topic of today's podcast, it should cover the whole thing that we talk about basketball for because it's we're going to have a lot of disagreements. Mm-hmm. We are very, very different fans. Like, that's very different. Yeah. I think that's what makes this so good. But, so we're going to go from 35 all the way to 1 in that order. So, at number 35, I'm not sure why he's here. I'll start. We can just go around, but I think this should be unanimous.
Yes.
Trey Jones is the worst point guard.
It's the worst.
I understand he started, but I really don't think he's going to last long starting. I think when you have two guards in Blake Wesley and Branham, who are like drafted both for like 19 and 20 or whatever it was, I think one of them is going to get the start. Probably Blake Wesley.
Even for development and stuff, like even if they're not necessarily better than him, I can't see him being a starter past like 20.
He had
games
flashes
or
last
something.
season.
I don't know.
He had
Well, flashes, but flashes doesn't mean anything.
I could see him as a solid backup one day.
I'll give Trey Jones 15 games starting, and then after that he's on the bench.
Yeah, that Spurs lineup was going to be changing a lot. Besides Cullen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cullen's their guy.
But okay, so that was pretty unanimous. So now 34. Now we're gonna get disagreements. I have Mike Conley. I think Mike Conley's very just. Whenever I watch him, I never see, at least in the last year, before that he was pretty good. I never saw anything good about him. He wasn't a good defender. His playmaking, whatever. You're
He's
playing.
lethal
You're playing
in
with
pick and
Mitchell.
roll, bro.
Yeah.
Give him a pick and he can do
Rudy
it.
Gobert made Joe Ingles look lethal. So I mean, I'm just.
Whatever, bro.
I'm low on
Joe
Mike
Ingles
Conley.
also, I mean, let's not discredit Joe Ingles like that. He filled his role well. He had good vision. I mean, he was slow, but he could fill the role.
We'll see.
Yeah, Joe Ingles.
Also, he sucked in the playoffs.
Are we gonna get into that?
Well, maybe later, but I don't want to ever talk about
Today's not
that,
the
man.
day.
I never want to talk about
Today's
it.
not the day.
We'll talk about it.
All right,
Okay,
all right, so-
but wait, hold on, real quick. I just want to say, if you look at my list as it goes on, you'll see I'm pretty high on recency bias. So
Okay.
Okay.
he sucked in the playoffs. I put him that low.
All right.
Okay, I got Monte Morris. I don't really see him developing well in the Wizards.
Yeah.
He's not going to do much.
Yeah.
They got a lot of point guards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So at 34, I've got Davion Mitchell. I just, as of right now, I'm basing this list based on how they performed this last season, going into the beginning of next year, and I like him a lot. I think he has a lot of potential. I just haven't seen enough from him to really,
Okay, Cam.
put him higher.
When Fox went down at the end of the year, were you watching the Kings?
Who was their guy?
Davion Mitchell played like 48 minutes a game, but he was putting up like 24 and 10 every game. Granted, it was his team pretty much.
Yeah.
But there was some flashes there. I'm not mad that you put him down a little.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I see a lot of potential. I
Yeah.
just don't necessarily see anything that's like, a lot of these other guys are more established. They've been in the league longer.
I guess.
Or, I saw them in the playoffs and I saw them perform well in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how he does this year, though.
Okay. At 34, I have Jose Alvarado. He was good. He was a good player, but compared to all the other, I'd rather have every other player on this list personally than him. He's a good defender. He's an okay defender. Sure, he got steals here and there. He gambled a lot, but his defense was okay. Offensively, he was a disability. He couldn't do shit on offense. But I have him at 34.
Okay. Yeah. As we go on, I think I really prioritize defensive point guards because y'all's 2 picks. I didn't even. It's not even anywhere near. Anyways, number 33. I have Cole Anthony. Just so inefficient. The whole Magic team was. He's not that good at playmaking. It feels kind of crazy. He was even like a 16-5 player, but
On 39% shooting.
on 39% shooting, he's just gonna have to show me more. I mean, I know like a lot of people going into the draft, they see him. Okay, all he could be really is a 6th man, and it's still kind of showing that. But I don't know. I'm not gonna doubt the potential of he's probably like a 21, 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33, I have Davion. Like you said before, he popped off at the end, but with Fox coming back, it's supposed to be his team now.
Yeah.
I don't see him putting up the stats he did at the end of the season. That was outstanding.
That's fair.
At 33, I've got Monte Morris. Kind of similar stuff to what you said. He's just kind of an uninspiring player in a lot of ways. I will give him credit. Watching that series against the Warriors, he had a really good, I think it was game 3. I don't know if it's game 3 or 4, but he hit 5 threes, 6 threes or something in that game.
I think it was game 4.
I think it was game 4. Because I think the Warriors were up 3-0.
Yeah.
And they won that game to take it back to Golden State. But, I mean, he's a serviceable backup. I think he's even a good backup, but I don't even see him as quite a starting caliber guard on a good team,
Yeah.
At 33, I got Monte Morris too. I just feel like Jokic made him look a lot better than how he actually is.
Yeah.
But I think in Washington, he will fall out tremendously. He's not going to work next to players like Beal and Kuzma. I'd even play Denny over him at point guard, but I think he's not as good as Nuggets fans think he
He's
is.
clearly not going to have as many open shots
That's
on the floor.
He can't. He can create his own shot, but I think Jokic just made him look a lot better.
I mean, that's really something that is such a credit to Jokic, is that I would say he's almost on par with LeBron in terms of making teammates better. You want to talk about
Maybe better.
Maybe
better.
I mean, it might even be better, and that's crazy to say.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Okay. At number 32, I have Kyle Lowry. Okay. I cannot stand the sight of Kyle Lowry, bro. Every time I watch him play, he's never doing anything right.
But you can't.
At least in the last year.
Can't stand the sight of him.
I can. I love.
Okay.
I love watching him play.
He got in shape though this offseason. If you've seen pictures,
No,
he might not be.
Well, did you see what he said about the memes and all that?
yeah.
Oh, I did. He said like,
He's like, it used to bother me.
It's like I say whatever you want.
When they won the chip in 2019, he was pretty built. If you have seen videos of him in the locker room,
Dude.
yeah.
but he's nowhere near the same. And I hear people say that he was injured during the playoffs, but like
hold on.
what I saw was like he was the team was just better without him. Like that's it. That's my entire thing. A lot of these point guards, you're going to be better with him on the court because it wasn't like it was Gabe Vincent replacing him. There's no way that Gabe Vincent is producing better basketball than Kyle Lowry. It's just, and I think a lot of these other players just make less mistakes. I actually valued players who they don't have much of a responsibility. Like I have Monty Morris. Oh, he's not for the next couple players, but if you're in the bottom tier point guards, you shouldn't be taking a lot of shots. So if you're going to be taking a little amount of shots, make those efficient. And at least Monty Morris was efficient in those shots.
With that said, you got to give him his defensive respect.
Yeah.
He's one of the better defensive point guards on this list.
Maybe above average, but he's not an elite.
He can take a charge. But
I mean, in
gotta
the
give him
right
respect.
role, I still think he's valuable to a contending team.
Is Miami not the right role for him?
I don't
I
think he's
think-
as good as he used to be, Camden.
I think
I just-
he's not as good as he used to be for sure, but he was what, the second option basically on that Raptors team.
was
when they won the.
yeah.
But even
I mean,
Yeah.
Van Vliet stepped up in the
yeah,
finals,
he was-
but he was
Siakam was there, too.
And Siakam was there too, but he was the second guy,
Yeah.
right?
He's just not the same player. he used to
If
be.
Bam will step up and be more aggressive offensively, and you also have Hero scoring, I think he can fit and play. He can be on that team
They need to
and
start
be a
Hero.
valuable piece.
They need.
I'll give you that. Tyler Hero was hurt. Bam was on nothing. I don't even know what he was doing
He
until
just
like
wasn't shooting until like towards the end of the series against Boston.
Just scared of looking.
yeah. Even against Philadelphia. Actually, no, I think he did good against Philadelphia. But I don't know. That's that 32.
yeah.
Yeah, I got Jose Alvarado at 32. I love his defense. I love the dog in him, but I've literally never seen him create a shot for himself.
Yeah.
He cannot. On offense, he's kind of a liability in my opinion. I just can't put him up there that high.
Okay.
So at 32, I've got Cole Anthony. A lot of the same reasons you said. Like his numbers on paper, they look good, but 39%. Like his efficiency is awful. His numbers are boosted by the fact that the Magic are just an awful team. And with Paolo there now, taking away his touches, because I do think that Paulo's going to play like a combo guard forward role where he does a lot of playmaking. I just don't think you're going to see him get as many touches. And I don't know. He's just, numbers are good, but watching him play, it's just because he gets the ball a lot.
He's not a starting point guard,
He's
in my opinion.
not.
No, he's not.
I think Markelle Fultz is better than him.
He should be back next season too.
Yeah.
32, I got Cole Anthony, but I will say his inefficiency is bad. I will say, if he does improve his efficiency, he could jump up on this list pretty high because he did put up good numbers with being inefficient. So if he's able to improve his efficiency, he's nice with it. He's got to make more shots.
Yeah.
Make them count.
Okay. For the exact same logic that I've been preaching this entire list, at number 31 is Russell Westbrook. He is not a top 30 point guard, at least according to this list.
Not a top 30.
At the end of the day, he's not a good defender.
The mighty
Okay.
have fallen.
He's not spacing the floor.
Spit.
He's barely above league average in finishing at the rim, and that's his number one thing. That's what he's supposed to be doing. He's been giving the spacing, and really to be a team, if the Lakers want to compete, they would need an actual center. I guess Damian Jones and Thomas Bryant are now there. That's just going to ruin the spacing even more. So you're telling me Russell Westbrook's going to be better? I don't see it. Man, yeah, that's all I have to say. I think it's self-explanatory.
31 now?
Yeah.
I got Cole Anthony. All the reasons you said, he's not efficient. I mean, I love his athleticism. That's one thing he's got going for him. And his shooting. It's definitely going to improve by next season, I hope.
Yeah.
I think he has the potential to maybe even jump up to top 20
He
on
could.
this list.
He really could.
If he really takes that.
That reminds me of
efficiency jump.
Marbury. You know, stuff on Marbury.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I could see it. But so at 31, I've got Jose Alvarado. A lot of the same reasons that have already been said. I love his intensity. I love his competitiveness. And I think he's a really solid defender as a point guard. I think he can defend even up to like a taller shooting guard or someone like that because he's so physical. I just don't know where his offensive game is going to go from here. I don't know how much offensive talent he has. If he improves it, I mean, he's going to be a really good starting caliber point guard. But as of right now, he's still not even starting caliber to me. He's a 6-man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even at that. At 31, I have Mike Conley, overrated defender, overrated shooter, overrated playmaker. He can get a good floater in on the pick and roll, and that's about all I've seen good from Mike Conley. He was good back in the day. He just doesn't have it anymore. It's just that simple.
Okay. Number 30. Do I have him the highest? Jose Alvarado. Did everyone else already say him?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to keep his hustle. But I will be honest, he was really fighting for a contract last season. So now that he has his contract, I hope that his hustle stays. Just a really... saying he's a good defender, but he's really like a annoying defender. He's annoying to play against. You could tell he annoyed Chris Paul. He got a couple steals with Chris Paul in the playoffs. Now, did he stop him? No. Chris Paul had a game where he went like what, 13 for 13 or something.
Yeah, it was
absolutely crazy. But yeah, I mean, he's not a starting caliber point guard, but the Pelicans don't need him to be. I mean, as not good as his offense is, now having Zion and Ingram and CJ, hopefully he could just catch and shoot threes and drive to the basket a little bit. But yeah, he's number 30 for me.
30 for me. Honestly, I shouldn't have put him this low, but I got KPJ. The only reason I got him there is that I don't know what he's going to put up every single night. He's so inconsistent. He can put up 26, 10, and 10. Then next night he'll just fall off the other side of the bridge and he won't do anything ever.
I'm not mad at it.
I do want to address something before I say my 30. You put Jose Alvarado above Westbrook?
That's insane.
That's rough.
insane.
That's
You can't-
rough. I'm sorry. I mean,
What is Westbrook? Is he a fourth, fifth option? As a fourth, fifth option, yes, I am taking Jose Alvarado.
That's not crazy to say.
LeBron, AD, Lonnie Walker. I don't know. I guess he's fourth. He's fourth to me. Who else is?
you think Lonnie Walker is going to be a higher usage offensive option than Russell Westbrook?
He
You just
won't.
saw Malik Monk do it. Why can't Lonnie Walker do it?
Malik
Yeah.
Monk was more
Lonnie-
efficient, but he was the fourth
Lonnie
option.
Walker is not Malik Monk.
He's not at all. But I'm just saying, like,
Russell Westbrook will be the third option this year.
He will.
on
I think
Nets.
Walker will have more shots though. And
I mean, we can get into that when
I-
we want to.
I'm saying on the Lakers, as a Lakers fan, I would rather have Jose Alvarado than Russell Westbrook on the team.
For the Lakers,
For the
right?
Lakers.
I'll get into this when I get later on in my list.
you wanted to cut him. You wanted to cut Westbrook.
Yeah, I did. At some point in the season, I was like, I feel like cutting him would actually, like, hurt us less than it would be if he was on the team.
It would improve the
See-
morale.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much were saying that you'd rather have Jose Alvarado than Westbrook.
I'm saying on the Lakers. Yeah. But
I think-
I did my ranking based off skill, based on how good the player is. I didn't do it by fit wise. If this was all for the Lakers, I'd have an entirely different.
Well, it's not fit for the one team, but it fit overall.
No,
Which-
I
which
did it by
team
skill. I did it by who's the better player.
That's
Okay.
how I made mine too. Because fit is such a subjective thing.
It's not.
It
Yes, it
really
is.
no, it really,
It really
is.
is.
It can be, but when you're talking about the number 30 point guard in the league, they're never going to be a top 3 option.
Okay, but Russell
Unless your
Westbrook
name's
is
Cole
the-
Anthony
is
and
the
your
number
team's
30 point guard in the league.
And he's a top
Okay,
three
okay.
option.
You know what? We'll disagree.
There you go.
So at 30, I also have KPJ. It's definitely rough to put him there.
I can't. No,
He's,
no, I
he's
can't.
way
I
too
can't.
inconsistent.
This is crazy.
He's
bro.
way too
He
inconsistent.
is.
His decision making needs improvement. The turnovers are a problem. I think he has a lot of potential, but I think you also have Jalen Green there, who's going to take away a lot of touches.
Mhm.
It
You
was
have
his
Jabbar-
first year playing point guard. Hardest position.
And he averaged like 8 assists. I'm not saying I had him too far off, but like
Y'all keep going.
Yeah, with
Y'all
like
keep
what
going.
3
Keep going.
turnovers.
Keep going.
Okay, I need
8
to
assists.
see him.
Hold on. 8 assists with 3 turnovers is pretty good.
Not
That's
for,
a good assist to ratio
Not for the
first
not for
year.
being a top 30 point guard in the league.
He's usually top 30.
You'd be surprised how bad. Okay, we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
It's just
I'll-
the
I'll-
inconsistency. It's another reason why, like, way up on this list, I have another guy maybe a little bit lower than other people have him, just because consistency is a very important thing for me. You can average 20, but if you're putting up 30 one night and 10 another night, it's more detrimental than a consistent 20, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a consistent 20 than 30 one night and 10 another.
You do have to factor in things like his age, the team he's on.
No, that's fair. I'm talking about how he performed last year. And like I said, I think a lot of these guys I have down here, other than some of the older guys, have a lot of tools to get better in the next year, the next 2 years, and they can definitely jump up this list. But right now, I just don't feel like I can put him over any of these other guys because I don't feel like you put KPJ on a contending team right now. He's not going to do as much for them as these other guys do.
Okay.
You know?
That's respectable.
Yeah.
At 30, I got Davion Mitchell. In my opinion, he is the second coming of Drew Holiday, and in a couple of years, he'll be just as valuable as Drew Holiday. I think he's starting the trend of a new wave of point guards that we're going to see come into the league, which are defensive-minded point guards that can create their own shot, shoot the ball, and even pass. But the future is bright for him, but right now he's borderline top 30 in the league.
The only problem I have with Davion is that he might be a little small, but we haven't seen that affect him at all yet.
At number 29, I have Monte Morris. Now it might be a bit high, but just you know how many little mistakes he actually made. He was like a 40% shooter from three. He averaged, I think it was like 4. Oh, this might be a different player, but I think he averaged 4.5 assists and 1 turnover a game, or it was something along the lines of that. So he was just not really making mistakes, and yes, it was because Jokic put so much pressure that he had no pressure at all. But I just think, I mean, he has Bradley Beal on his team. Bradley Beal is the underrated playmaker. He can really threat. Not Jokic, but I still think, I don't know, Monte Morris. He's 29 for me.
Okay.
29. I got Westbrook. I had to put him at least top 30.
Yeah.
But he's not. I don't see him as being good ever. He's not going to be good on the Lakers for at least, if he gets traded, maybe he can put up some stats, but not for the Lakers.
So at number 29, I have Mike Conley. I think that while he does obviously have some offensive struggle, and he's definitely not the player he was in Memphis, he's still a serviceable veteran point guard who can run a pick and roll and but he can get you 10 and 7 or 11 and 7 and be somewhat efficient. And that's all you need for some teams. That's all you need. If the Lakers had that right now, if the Lakers had a point guard who could actually just like be a point guard and fit that role of a playmaker who doesn't look to score all the time, they'd be a better team.
Are you telling me none of these guys? I'm pretty sure every single person on this list can get you 10 and 7. Every single one.
Overall, can get you 10 and 7.
Yeah,
We haven't seen him in a huge role.
What I'm
not
saying
saying
is-
Trey Jones can get you 10 and 7.
I wouldn't bet on it. I'd say he can.
He can. Trey Jones probably.
I'm saying
He did on the Hawks.
10 and 7. I'm saying like a 10 and 7 like Russell Westbrook. You guys are all putting him really low. He gives you 17, 7, and 7 a night.
That is true with bad shot.
Yeah, you know what he gives,
But
he gives you every night.
You know what he's going to give you statistically. It's not always about the statistics. It's about how the player plays and how they fit on the team, right?
At 29, I think this guy's going to be way higher when the season ends, but I have John Wall. I'm telling you, at the end of the season, I think this guy's going to jump up to like 25. I just haven't seen him play in a whole year. That's why the reason I have him so low. I just believe at the end of the year, he's definitely going to be higher. People forget how good this guy was. I personally base my game, how I play in real life, around this guy. And it's not really that good. But, yeah, I think he'll bump up before the end of the season. But right now, I have John Wall at 29.
So you have the John Wall the lowest, and don't you like John Wall? Yeah.
I haven't seen him play in a while.
Okay. Number 28, I have Kevin Porter Jr. I still think this is kind of low, but at the same time, the point guard position is just so stacked. But he's given you 15 and 8 so far, and it's only his third season. He's already gone through so many controversies. He's already kind of gotten past them all. Besides, I mean, he had controversy last year with like the Rockets, but I don't know. He could definitely jump up, but he has to prove it to me.
Yeah. 28. I got Mike Conley. If I could remake this list, I'd put KPJ above both Russ and Conley, but I didn't have enough time. And so Conley, if he can be on another team besides the Jazz who actually has a center who can run the pick and roll with him, then I think he could be a little bit higher. But for now, while he's on the rebuilding Jazz or whatever you can call him, he's not doing anything.
So at 28, I have Kyle Lowry for kind of some of the similar reasons that I mentioned for Mike Conley. He's a veteran point guard. He is, intelligent enough to run the point guard role and be efficient if you put him in a role where he doesn't have to score that much. And I put him above Mike Conley because I think he's a better defensive player.
Okay.
There's really not that much more to it.
Yeah.
Same thing as Cam. I got Kyle Lowry at 28.
Okay. Number 27, I have John Wall. Yeah, he's one of those players. There's some players who I just give the benefit of the doubt to, but I can't do that for John Wall because even though he put up, 19 and 7 on the Rockets?
It's like 19 and 9.
19 and 9. Still, you're on a losing team. We saw Oladipo, go off, and I mean he got hurt since, but I just you have to do it while winning, and he hasn't been on a winning team in a long time. Yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah. 27, I have Lowry. Same reasons everyone said. We saw him in the playoffs. He wasn't anything.
Yeah.
He couldn't. The Heat were expecting a lot more from Lowry. He just couldn't provide it.
So I did just make a change to my list because I realized this is something I forgot to do earlier. So 27 for me is Russell Westbrook. I probably have him a little bit too low. Personally, I think he's going to have a better year this year. And I think in terms of skill, he is higher than some of the guys I'm going to mention next. I don't know what it is, because you look at the numbers. He shoots 45% from the field. He averages 17, 7, and 7. It's a good stat line. It's not Russell Westbrook of old, but it's a good stat line. But just watching him play, there is something he does to affect the flow of the game and the flow of their offense, as well as being a defensive liability, that it's just so detrimental to them, especially when LeBron's off the court.
Yeah.
So you two still have Westbrook left.
No,
Yeah.
I still love Russ. Everyone said Russ but me.
I already said Russ.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Before we move on, you had Westbrook at 21.
I did have
when you made
Westbrook
this
at 21. I did. Because I have loved Westbrook for a long time. I
Okay.
really just love his mentality. But
You
the
don't
more
got
I
it,
thought
man.
about it and the more I actually sat there and
Thank you
really
for
was
thinking.
actually being reasonable in my head, he's just not the same player. He has the same mentality. He wants to be great, but it's not enough to be able to do that. I think, personally, if he can take a step back this year and not be so ball dominant and be okay sitting in the corner
He's
more,
not going to do it.
because he shot
doesn't care.
he shot, I think it was 45% on threes from the right corner,
He shot the least amount of shots there.
and he shot the
Yep.
least amount of shots there. Put an offensive scheme in place that better utilizes what he can still do, because his mid range he just can't. Whatever it is, wing mid range that he used to have,
Off
that
the
was just
bank.
automatic. That bang, it's
gone.
It's gone. It's completely gone. Unless he can get that back, I think he'll be much better in a role where he's cutting off ball and he's working around LeBron. And then they need a point guard who can run the offense off the bench, because I don't know if it's him.
But we already know Westbrook's not going to change. He already fired his agent. He clearly didn't have a good relationship with him. And he doesn't want to change.
He doesn't.
Okay, but what do you think about Darvinham in terms of the Lakers giving him more ability to be able to bench Westbrook, and he's also stated a willingness to bench Westbrook?
Darvin Ham will do whatever he needs to do to make the team win.
So do you
It's up
think-
to Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook's showing he doesn't want to change already. So what makes you think all of a sudden he's going to just be like, oh, let's become a defender at age 34?
I don't think he's going to become a defender.
Darvin Ham.
Darvinham. Russell Westbrook's never going to be like a great perimeter defender, but he's physical and he can be a serviceable defender. He's not a cone, okay? He can be
I watched 82 games of it, Cam.
he can be not a good defender, but a serviceable defender.
No.
Okay?
No.
If he chooses to be, but he's not going to choose to be.
I'm
That's the
kidding.
problem.
That tone is really disrespectful when you see the other people on this list. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. He's a better defender than some players on this list.
He's a better defender than
If he actually
I would say.
cared, I would.
I don't know.
I would like
The
it.
thing
I
is,
don't know.
he cares, but he doesn't care about sacrificing for the team. He cares about, being.
As long as he
Russell
gets his
Westbrook.
triple doubles, he's
Yeah,
fine.
he just wants the stats.
I don't know if it's about the stats, but I think he personally believes that he's the best player on the floor at all times, and he can't accept the belief that he needs to take a back seat in order for the team to be successful.
Okay.
Number 27, I have Russell Westbrook.
Oh, so now I know. Okay, so this is the highest you guys have him.
Yeah.
So
21 would have been crazy.
using,
That would've been wild.
I don't,
21 would have been.
that would be crazy. I don't use field goal percentage to base efficiency, because if you look at 45%, that doesn't look too bad. True shooting, which takes into
Yeah.
consideration
Yep.
free throws,
Yep.
which, by the way, 66% from the free throw line.
As
As a point guard.
That's bottom 12%. I'm not even joking.
That's wild.
Oh wait, no, that might be. I think it's bottom 12. It might be bottom
with the
33.
rate that he shot him at, it's crazy.
Because he attacks the basket so much, he's constantly getting fouled. I mean, he needs to be shooting at least 75%.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
People think-
66%.
I mean,
But yeah, league average I think is 56% true shooting or 55. He shot 51, so he is closer to Jalen Suggs' efficiency than average.
that's crazy. That's disrespectful to Jalen Suggs.
It's not. I'm sorry. I love it. I still believe in Jalen
it's
Suggs,
just
but
a
he had
stat.
a
It's
terrible
just a
season.
stat.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
a
a
stat.
Okay, so Martina, I have a question for you. As a Lakers fan, do you think the Lakers can be contenders with Russell Westbrook?
Under any circumstance, no.
They can't be contenders without him.
He makes too much
No,
money.
no. LeBron and AD, with the right team around
We've
them,
seen it.
won a championship.
I've seen it.
We've seen
Okay,
it.
we've seen
They
it.
can do it.
They had,
But
they
with
had
Russell
talent.
Westbrook, with that 40,
If Russell Westbrook
48
makes the
million?
minimum contract, yes. If Russell Westbrook makes $48 million, no. That's too much money into a player that doesn't give you enough back for that much money. We can't be contenders with that much money into Russell Westbrook, no.
that's crazy. He's making
$48 million.
no. How much more is he making than LeBron?
It's definitely more.
Is it
though.
like 10 million?
I think Braun makes around 40. So I'd say around. Braun makes around 40.
Yeah.
So it's around.
LeBron has a smaller contract for his talent level in terms of, you look at guys like Steph Curry and Giannis and even Dame.
Yeah, Lillard
that
making insane
Dame
money.
extension.
That's insane.
That's actually insane.
Yeah.
I feel like that might age really poorly.
I told Corby that we're going to sign. I said that might be the worst contract.
How
in the
old is
league
Dame
in 5
now?
years.
He's 31.
31, I think.
When he's 36,
So he'll be
he'll making
36
money.
making 60 million.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bad.
That might be one of the
contract
worst
in a few years.
contracts.
Okay, can we just
It won't
talk
be
about,
it won't be worse than Russ. I'm not gonna lie.
can we just talk about how LeBron's longevity has so heavily skewed our view of players' decline? Like
Thank you.
we look at Harden and we see Harden's decline. We're like, damn, you're already getting old.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting bad already. Yeah, he's 34.
Yeah,
Like,
but LeBron's
it's
not the only one.
normal. Okay, LeBron's
What
not
other
the
player
only-
has done what Braun's been able to do?
The thing is, LeBron
Kareem.
cares other than
Kareem is true. Yeah.
So Kareem and LeBron. So that's two guys.
Maybe Kobe.
Kobe got injured, so I'll give you
Yeah,
that because
yeah.
I feel like he could have continued playing well if he didn't
Yeah,
get
I
injured.
think he would have.
I think Steph has a chance to be one of those guys that
just because of his
has-
play style.
because of his play style is able to, I don't know. I don't know if in the next 10, 15 years we will see anyone be as good for as long as LeBron James.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The recording's at 32 minutes, and we've gone 9 from
Okay, we
35 to
really
26.
need to
We gotta speed
Yeah.
through these.
Yeah.
Let's be through.
Okay,
Because-
not even speed, but like we can.
I mean, we're talking about
We might
other-
have to have it be longer.
We're talking about other stuff too.
Okay.
Get stuff out of the way.
Number 26, 26
Yeah,
we're on.
26.
26.
I think I have the highest of this guy, Davion Mitchell, and it's just for the fact of his defense. I mean, his defense alone is top 5, and he is the lowest top 5 defender on here, so I don't think it's too disrespectful.
Top 5 among all point guards.
Yeah, I think so. He's 5. He's 5. He's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's gonna be off the bench. He's not even gonna be the number 1 scoring option off the bench. That'll probably be Herter or Malik Monk, whoever is benched. But I just his overall impact is just you can't. Just being so young, I don't know.
26. I got John Wall. On this Clippers team, all we need is playmaking. And John Wall, we've seen it throughout his career, even if he's older now, he can play make.
Yeah.
So at 26, I've got D'Angelo Russell. For me, just like
Whoa.
it's low,
That's pretty low.
but
That's low.
I don't know. I really like D'Lo, but he's not the same player he was in Brooklyn for sure.
That is
And
fair.
in the playoffs,
He's a better defender.
he had a tough time
He was
being
struggling
efficient.
in the playoffs.
He was struggling, and I try not to use playoff performance as an entire indicator of how good a player is and what their value is. But he wasn't what the Timberwolves needed him to be, which was a guy who could go get a bucket on his own
Imagine.
in isolation.
I
just didn't record.
No, I have to make sure. An hour. This might end up being like over an hour, so I need to make sure. Okay, but I still think overall defensively, and maybe Patrick Beverly made it look better, but also Gobert's gonna make it look better. He's pretty good on
He's a
defense.
good defender.
Like he's gotten better. Maybe he's gotten more. Like he hasn't been as good on offense, but defensive wise,
He's a good defender.
I just think he's underrated. But
Yeah.
No. I agree, and I don't feel great putting him at 26, but at the same time, it's just the fact that he didn't show up when they needed him to show up.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
At 26, I have Kevin Porter Jr., KPJ. I believe firmly that in 8 years, this guy will be James Harden. You guys can laugh at me all you want. When it happens, then it happens. KPJ will be a top 5 point guard in 8 years.
Yo, I hope you realize that like at least 10 of these guys are below 22 years old that are above him.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but just watch. Just watch it. When it happens, it happens. When it happens, it happens.
I mean, I'm
When it
not
happens, it
saying he doesn't have potential.
When it happens, it happens.
I'm not. I mean, I think he's gonna be good, but not James Harden. Yet.
James
When
Harden.
it happens, it happens.
James Harden in his prime, that was
When it happens, it happens.
different. Man.
I don't know about in his prime. I never said what type of James Harden.
Oh, so like 6-man James Harden.
No, I could,
right
I
in
could
his
see him. I
prime.
could see him just becoming like.
I mean, if KPJ puts on like 40 pounds, he could be right now James
I've
Harden.
not been able to see KPJ shoot like James Harden has.
Okay.
I
okay.
saw him drop 50 on Drew Holiday.
Number 25, I have Malcolm Brogdon. I feel like this is a pretty good spot. He just hasn't shown too much over the years because he's been hurt, but he's obviously a good shooter. Like especially now he's gonna be in a role where he was in Milwaukee, where he's just kind of gonna be a catch and shoot, playmaker a little bit. Not do too much, but he's not gonna make too many mistakes. That's my 25.
25. I also have Brogdon. He would be higher if he wasn't injured all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him on the court for at least 70 games since he was a rookie. It's been a while.
25. I have John Wall. Like I said, I think you said this. I think he could jump up. I just haven't seen him play hardly at all. But I mean, we know who John Wall is. So if he comes back and he's John Wall, then that Clippers team's going to be really dangerous. But as of right now, from what I've seen, coming off injuries, not really playing consistently for 2 years. Has it been 2 years or 3 years with the injuries? That he hasn't played consistently.
I'd say about 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
So
I feel like even since his first year in Indiana, yeah.
I think he'll still be fast. He'll be able to push the ball. I think it kind of depends on if he's developed his shot and continue to work on his shot, because I don't think his vertical is going to be there in the same place it was 3 years ago.
At 25, right? I
Yeah.
got Malcolm Brogdon. Not much to say about him. Just he's a solid player.
Okay. Number 24. You guys are gonna love this. Lonzo Ball.
You gotta leave, bro.
I can't stand.
You gotta
because,
leave.
So these players are in kind of tiers. They're kind of separated in tiers, right? Those last like 10 players I mentioned should be like 4th, 5th options.
Yeah.
But the point guard position is so talented. Where now we're getting to number 24. This is where it should start getting like to the number 3 option on the team. Even maybe last when I said, oh wait, I haven't said this player, but I just think. Sorry, who was it? Sorry, Lonzo. I mean, I lost my train of thought. Lonzo, it's just he can't be a go-to scorer at all. And in fact, I want to see.
What is D'Angelo Russell better than Lonzo Ball?
I was right about to say. I wondered if you guys had D'Lo or Lonzo higher, and we can wait for that. But Lonzo can never do what D'Lo does.
I mean, you know where I have D'Lo, so
Yeah.
you're gonna know. I have Lonzo above him.
Okay, let's keep it going.
At 24, I also have Lonzo Ball.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes!
I love his playmaking and his defense, but like he said, he cannot be a number 1,
He
number 2
applies
option.
no pressure on offense.
See, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. He's not that far off. He's not 24.
That's called a role player.
He's not that far.
Who cares? You don't need to do much. He's a starter on a
I
championship
don't
team.
know. I'll talk about Lonzo when I get to Lonzo. 24 for me is Malcolm Brogdon. Same reasons you guys said.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's solid, and that's it. He's just a solid point guard.
Yeah.
At 24, I have the Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. Good defender, really good defender.
It's a little
But
low.
it is low. It is very
For
low.
the deep boy.
Yeah.
It is low for. Let's be honest now.
Okay,
He was the deep.
he was the deep boy.
He was
so
the
you got to
deep
give
boy.
him
He
his
was-
he
respect.
was the
you know?
deep
He was the Defensive Player of the Year, but
You can say who should have been the deep boy, but
I
who won?
Marcus Smart is an amazing defender. Okay, he's an amazing defender. He does everything you need a player to do, and every team in the league would want him.
Yeah.
In terms of point guard, he's a good player. He's awesome, but he's just. I'd rather have everyone I have above him. It's just the point guard position is so stacked that I'd rather have everyone above him than I have him above him.
Man, you ought to give Marcus Smart more respect. More respect. That being said, at 23, Lonzo Ball and Marcus Smart, the exact same tier player. It's just that Lonzo Ball,
Deep boy.
yeah, Lonzo Ball didn't win D-Boy. And I will say, I guess Marcus Smart Lonzo Ball's a better 3-point shooter, but he's also asked to do less 3-point shooting wise. Marcus Smart just has to chuck sometimes for the team to win. But yeah, that's my pick.
23, I got Jalen Brunson. If he can be that guy on New York, then I'll put him higher. But with him being on Luka's team the last 2 years, and he jumped up that high. That's where I put
I'll
him.
say this: didn't he win College Player of the Year?
Villanova, I think.
Yeah.
What is college? What is college?
It doesn't mean
What
anything.
does to do
It doesn't mean anything, but obviously coming into the league, he had the talent, and I think he's putting it together now. I think he'll
Didn't Grant Williams win some sort of college award?
Okay,
I was gonna say,
but Grant Williams is trash.
Yeah, and that's why I put Jalen Brunson there. Well.
He had that Kevin Herter game 7, bro.
Sorry, Williams, honestly. Sorry, that's number 23. I got Cade Cunningham.
Whoa! Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa! Okay.
Yep.
So keep it. Is this solely based off last season, or
This
you're
is
also?
the start of the year, where I think they will be at the start of the year.
That's
Wow.
crazy, bro. Oh my.
I like Cade a lot. I think he'll be top 15 by the end of the year, but
That's crazy.
right now he's just not there for me. I would rather have. And you're gonna get mad because
I just want to see who's above him. Well,
I'm gonna get mad.
yeah.
But
Yo,
this is like my
No, because
one of my
I
favorite
know
players
you're like
of
I know you are like a
Wow.
Cade.
I
fan.
love
You're
Cade,
like-
bro.
He's a Cade connoisseur.
You know what's crazy? I wasn't even that much of a fan of him right after the draft. Once I saw him play, I'm like, wow, this guy's so good. But
Yeah.
I feel like he's a 6'8" point guard who can defend, bro.
Yeah. No, he improved so much towards the end of the year, but I am basing it off of last year too.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, start of the season, where would I put them? Like, this is not where I think they'll be at the end of the year. Obviously, because I would have Cade a lot higher. I would have Davion Mitchell a lot higher.
Okay.
But just for me, I feel like Cade definitely showed what he can be. Now let's see if he can do it for a whole year.
Okay.
23, I got D'Lo. Good defender, better defender. Not as good offensively that he was in Brooklyn, but he's still a very good point guard. But I'd rather have everyone hype above him.
Oh, you said D'Lo?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. 22. I have Jalen Brunson. Did you have 23?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jalen Brunson is just he's not that all out on defense. He plays like a slasher. He's just I don't see too much potential in him being that good. I mean, he is what the Knicks need. They need a playmaker. But yeah, I just there's so much talent.
Yeah. 22 now? I have D'Lo. I mean, with him now having on a stacked, I shouldn't say stacked Minnesota team, but he doesn't have to do as much.
Regular season stacked.
Yeah, exactly. Regular season stacked. But when it comes to playoff time, he doesn't perform.
Yeah.
Cam's not here. 22, I have Brunson. Same reasons that were stated. I believe he got massively overpaid by the Knicks, and he's not worth that money, no matter how good he plays next season. But we'll see what happens with him on the Knicks.
Okay. Do you want to wait for Cam? Oh, here. Oh, but he's up pushing off the table.
Cam. What number are we on?
Okay.
22.
We have a substitute.
You don't want to
We have a guest
introduce
speaker.
Oh, my name is Bjorn Scott. That's about it. So currently number 22, Cam has Tyrese Halliburton.
What?
Cam.
Tyrese. I think it's crazy that he's that low for how he was last year. Like, I know he's having to fill in for the role. Now he's on the Pacers team.
Did he
Like,
actually?
yeah, he actually.
Cam, come back here if you're done, bro. I need to
Dog.
hear this. I really need to hear this.
That is crazy to me that he's that low for how. And he was doing good on the Kings, gets traded to the Pacers still.
Dude, no, that's crazy. What the fuck? Cam!
Those last two are wild.
Yeah.
Okay, just keep going. When he comes back, we got
I mean, I thought we were considering how good they were.
Yeah.
That's what Cam said skill, didn't he? Or
Bro,
you
I
said skill.
don't know. I don't know. Let's just keep going.
Okay. Number 21. Oh, this is low. I have De'Aaron Fox. I think at the same time, spacing wise, he's not really going to space the floor for you. He's not a good defender. At least he's probably like average defender in this list specifically. In the league, he's a below average defender.
Yeah.
He can put up numbers. I'll give him that. But that's not what I'm looking for when I look for a point guard.
Okay. 21, I have Marcus Smart. With Brogdon coming to the team, I think he can be who he is, the defender, the playmaker. I think Marcus Smart can be who he is now that Brogdon's on the team.
Okay.
Okay. What does Cam have for 21?
21, Cam has Russell Westbrook.
Hold on.
Oh, he redid it.
Oh, so I guess D'Lo actually is at 21.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense. At 21, I got CJ McCollum. He's a scorer, and he's nothing but a scorer.
That's low. Wait, what?
Yeah, he's a scorer. And
He's not nothing but a scorer.
He's nothing but a
He's
scorer.
a good playmaker.
He's nothing.
I was in New Orleans. He was good at playmaking, and now he's gonna have Zion. He's gonna be even better
He's
playmaker.
nothing but a bucket.
He's
He's
a
a really good bucket.
because of other players.
It's
not
interesting
him
to
being
see
a good
who you
playmaker.
have.
CJ McCollum.
Yeah. I mean, I have reasons for why.
All he has to do is just give Zion the ball, and he's gonna.
CJ
go up for a
McCollum, and I
layup.
understand we're not taking. I am a recency bias guy, but this is the guy who's outplayed Damian Lillard to carry Damian Lillard in playoff series.
He's just a bucket.
To say he can't do that next year,
Last year, all I saw was Damian Lillard score every single bucket,
No.
and then when the one time he gave it to CJ McCollum, he stepped out of bounds and they turned it
not
over.
bad. It's good.
I know.
They're in the
I'm
playoffs?
curious.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
That was versus Denver
I
again.
thought you meant last year's regular season. I'm about to say.
No.
Damian wasn't on either.
Let's see it, Corey. 21.
We just said 21.
No, we didn't. We're on 20.
We're on 20.
20. Now we're 20.
Okay. Number 20. Once again, I am the lowest for a lot of these players. Ben Simmons. I'm not. Okay, what is this?
Okay.
Why do you just leave? That's a reasonable placement.
I think that's a good,
Nothing-
I think
nothing-
that's a reasonable play.
Thank you. Nothing. Ben Simmons hasn't proven anything to say that he's the same player he was in the regular season last time he played.
He also is a.
He hasn't done a single thing. All he's done is lied about playing.
Yeah.
That's what?
Y'all are hating. Y'all are hating.
I'm actually not. I like that.
It's-
That's actually really reasonable.
It's odd to me after this last season that you still have McCollum under.
Okay. Luke,
At
you.
20, I have CJ, like you said before, score nothing but a scorer. I guess he's a decent playmaker, but he's the worst defender on that team.
Yeah, I'll see it. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, there's a lot of players on this list who are the worst defender on their team.
Yeah, but they
They're
can
all
also
higher,
do a lot more.
I guess. I just when I see CJ, you know what? I'll give it to you. But I have him really high. Just to let you know.
Cam on this list has number 20 Jalen Brunson.
I guess.
Okay.
Which,
Yeah.
like,
Wait, is he the highest?
I think that's the highest, yeah.
I think that's all right. I mean,
It's an okay place, man.
If you can do good on the Knicks.
you could dispute it, but like,
It was two. Yeah, it was 2 spots off for me. So man.
Yeah.
Number 20, I have ZO2, Lonzo Ball. I believe firmly he's a starting caliber point guard on a championship team. He shoots the ball at 40. Put him next to Giannis and see what happens.
and you think he's better than CJ McCollum?
What does that have to do
That's
with
okay.
anything?
I'm not saying he.
Anyone next to Giannis
I
is
think
good.
Lonzo
Yeah,
is better than
that's
CJ
true.
McCollum. Yes.
Okay, but let's have a different argument right here because at number 19, I have D'Lo. You think that Lonzo Ball? I think, in my opinion, D'Angelo Russell, in Lonzo Ball's position on the Bulls, could do what he does. Just play make. You know, he could be a better playmaker. He could defend, do all that, whatever. Lonzo Ball could never be a 17-point per game scorer, ever. I would bet money on that. I really would. Obviously, that's a long bet, so I would never actually place it. But I think that's crazy. So yeah, at 19, I have D'Lo.
19, I got Fox.
Okay.
Everybody on this list I think is better above him. And Fox, I mean, I guess if he can do better in the Kings now that it's his team, then I think he'll
He still won't make the play tournament.
Exactly. They're still not going to do
It'll be
it.
a cool 11. Cool 11 scene.
All right. Cam at number 19 is Marcus Smart.
It's the highest.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, like, it's all right. I think there's some people that I would put definitely above him on this list. Looking at it, offer it.
Yeah.
I could see D'Lo.
I'd rather have Tyrese Halliburton and Kate Cunningham,
I
in my
know.
opinion.
Yeah.
D'Lo, Halliburton, Cade has more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna love this one.
Dude.
Number 19, I have Dejounte.
You're so
Murray.
stupid. No, you're trolling. You're
I'm not trolling. I'm
You're
not
trolling.
I think there are 18 better point guards in the NBA.
Top
than
3,
Dejounte Murray.
maybe 4. I think top 3 defender in this entire point guard list. I mean, he averaged 22 points. He averaged like 9 assists for every 2.5 turnovers. That's like crazy. He has no help. He did all of that with no help. It wasn't like he was inefficient. Maybe his like 3-point percentage showed that, but he was pretty much league average in true shooting. And now he's going to be on a team where he doesn't have to do all that. He can literally just be a defender and playmaker while Trey does all the scoring. I still think you could be a point guard who averages 14, 15 points, and you can still be a top 15 point guard.
You just stated a situation that we've heard in recent history. 2017, Russell Westbrook was no help. He played amazing. Not many turnovers. He played great.
And Russell Westbrook.
Listen, bro. He got traded to a team where all he had to do was play defense and pass the ball next to James Harden. Let him do all the scoring.
There's no way you just said that.
Listen,
not all he had to
that's what he had to do. What was Russell Westbrook's role for the Rockets? Play defense, give the ball to Harden.
Man,
get
weren't they
open
like the
shots.
highest scoring average in
Yeah,
of all time?
It
the duo?
worked.
Those,
But
both
did the
duos.
team play good?
Yes.
I
they
mean, they
weren't-
made it
they-
for the second round.
Yes, they made
I
it to the
just-
second round.
I
Westbrook
don't-
averaged
I'm not-
28 points per
I
game for the
am
last
not
like
a
40
designer.
games.
They did struggle against that
Dejounte
OKC
Murray's not
team.
good.
They
He's
went
not
7 against the
He
Chris
could-
Paul led
What?
OKC
I
team.
don't know.
I mean, yeah.
I don't
they
know
played
enough about
because
him.
of Westbrook.
He's a good fantasy player, bro.
it
I'm
could've
picking
been
him in
anything.
fantasy. He's going to give me 45 points. But he's not a good
I don't really
player.
remember Westbrook ever
Thank
do
you.
anything in that
It
series.
really shakes it, like I'm telling you.
Okay.
We're going to be editing it. It's just...
No, actually it will. But it's the first one, you know what? So I don't really care.
You're not even supposed to be here.
2019.
Where's Cam?
Okay,
You make a phone call.
at number 18. Oh, so it looks like I have him pretty low then. I have Kate Cunningham. I think he's just really good. He still does have to prove it, and a lot of these other players have done it in the playoffs, or they're just obviously more into their careers. Obviously I think Cade Cunningham's gonna be a lot better than a lot of these point guards eventually. But being a rookie, that's just what it is.
18, I got Jamal Murray.
Okay.
He's coming off injuries. He's not going to be as good as he was in the bubble. He's never going to be as good as he was in the bubble. Never.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
He was playing again in an open gym. I love Jamal Murray. Don't get me wrong, but playing next to Jokic also, it improves him a lot. And so individually as a player, I don't think he's above any of these guys on the list.
So you think playing in the bubble helped his game?
Yes.
So like it helped. So obviously the winner of the bubble, it probably helped their game, right? So it's probably it was a bit of an unfortunate circumstance for the Lakers to get all that rest to stay healthy, and that's
I've
what
made this argument 1,000 times.
and that's
They
why I
would not have
said
won the championship if they didn't have the bubble. I don't care. I mean, they would probably made it to. They could have done something, but I don't know if they make it.
Bubble was like pure.
I also think that was the best Lakers team that they ever had.
Yeah.
Too.
I think-
So that's why I'm saying even if you replace Russell Westbrook with just $40 million in players, they had Kyle Kuzma on an amazing contract and all. Okay, well, that's not even the point. Let's get through this. It's gonna be a really long
The
episode.
bubble's a conversation for a
That's a
different day.
different-
Yeah.
Okay, who's at 18? Bjorn.
At 18, Cam has CJ McCollum. I would personally put him above two other players higher, but I think that's all right for CJ McCollum.
Okay.
I did have.
No, I just saw.
To be fair, I had CJ McCollum in fantasy last year, so I'm a bit of like a dick rider with him. He was my go. I did a trade for him. He made me happy.
18, I got Tyrese Halliburton, young goat, all-star next year. So I think he's going to be an all-star next year.
I love me some Tyrese.
Okay, I think it's a bit low, but
Yeah.
not as low as someone else had him. Okay, 17.
Wow.
17, right? 17.
17.
I have Jamal Murray. Same reasons you said, so
I'm actually,
not gonna say too much.
17. I got Ben Simmons. We haven't seen him for what, 2 years now? Year.
You're gonna have.
Yeah.
Actually, no, yeah, a year. Yeah.
Okay. And he can't shoot. I just want to see him make a mid-range, please. Just make a mid-range, and then I'll put him higher. But all he can do is drive to the basket and play defense and play make.
Yeah.
My turn.
yeah.
17, Cam has Fred VanVleet. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the lowest
That's
that
That's,
somebody
probably,
has
that's
him
the
at.
first person said for him.
I think that's the first.
that's a
Oh no,
little
that's
low.
fine for me. Why are you opening a wrapper on our?
I want a little Smarties, dude. I'm not ate anything.
It's louder than your voice.
Sure.
All I drank today is like 6 shots of Dayquil. And like 12 chicken nuggets. That's all I've had today.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, probably he's low, but he's not.
He's low.
He's not crazy low.
Low.
I mean, I'm not.
At 17, I got the guy from Detroit, Cade Cunningham. He's special, bro. I personally thought Scotty Barnes deserved Rookie of the Year, but I do think Cade is the best rookie in the class, and I think he's only going to prove it this year.
Okay. At number 16, I have another one of those players that I'm the lowest on, LaMelo Ball, or it looks like at least. I think he's good. I know you're gonna hate it. You probably have him top 8. You probably have him top 5. I'm not gonna lie, but LaMelo, it's just I don't know. LaMelo Ball in the play-in situations both years has just gotten blown out. Maybe he played good this year, but at the same time, if he's not really impacting on the defensive end and he's not that good on offense, I don't know. I just think other players have kind of proven it a little bit more. Yeah.
I think Melo Ball is a bit higher than that, but
16. I have Dejounte Murray.
It's not that far from mine.
Easy.
I just see everybody on this list better than him.
Thank you.
I really love DeJounte. I love me some
He's a
DeJounte.
You
great-
haven't said Fred VanVleet.
Okay, the thing is, Fred VanVleet can shoot. DeJounte Murray is
He can't shoot.
I mean, he shoots league average catch and shoot. That's all you
He
need.
can't shoot.
Yeah, but
Cam, are you
point
back?
guard. He's not gonna be
No,
shooting.
no,
catch and shoot now.
no. Stop. Cam, you gotta explain.
22.
I need a.
We need.
No, I'm gonna say because I have Tyrese Halliburton a lot higher still. So once we get
Hold
to
on,
my bed, we're
Cam
gonna.
gotta
Where you
read the
guys
rest
at?
of
Where you guys
our
at on
list.
this?
16.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through the rest of my list up until 16.
Cam's been. Jordan's been.
Jordan, you want to?
Have you been saying? Because I want to give like my explanation
Okay.
for why I put this.
Sarah, do you want to pull up an extra chair and just sit here?
I don't think I'm. Yeah,
You do.
There are people like you now.
I'm on the side here.
You have a lot more.
Maybe go play golf with your friends by myself.
Okay.
Okay. So
Cam's
Tyrese
back.
at 22.
Explain.
I'd love to hear this.
Explain.
He's actually at 21
Explain it.
because
Okay.
22 is Lonzo.
Okay, explain it.
Because so Lonzo is actually at 22. Kind of the same reasons you talked about. He's
We
not a
just-
first
we
up.
just
he's not a
want to
second
hear
round.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Will you let me
No,
do what
go
I'm?
ahead.
Let me do
Go
what
ahead.
I'm gonna do.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
You putting him
Jesus Christ.
even below 20 is just.
It's disrespectful.
Remember, I'm the same guy that had Russell Westbrook at 21.
Just
Changed
keep
it,
going.
so I've made
Keep
the
going.
At least you
change.
changed that.
Come on.
Okay. So Lonzo 22. Same reasons. I feel like I put him a little higher than you guys because the Bulls were really bad defensively without him. So he obviously has a big defensive impact. Tyrese at 21. I really like Tyrese Halliburton. I don't feel like he's shown that he can do as much as the other guys on this list. I don't have the same
He
sample.
hasn't shown as much as Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart's a depoy.
Okay.
What do you want me to do?
And
What else? What else?
He says
is
for
Marcus
more
Smart
than
better than
Jalen
Tyrese?
Brunson?
Jalen Brunson had a great playoff run.
Put Jalen Brunson on the Pacers and Kings.
Okay,
And he
I
can
will,
never do it.
I will take regular season to be what it is, but I also am going to take it with a grain of salt. He has been very efficient. He's been really good. Okay, he's only stepped into like a significant role on the Pacers because on the Kings he was behind Fox the whole
He
time.
was still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
He was
That's fine.
doing it.
I put him where I put him.
Okay, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful stuff.
All right.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson at 20. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart at 19. Same reasons he's not a very polished offensive player. He can hit a three if you need him to. Defensively, he's a very skilled defensive player, but his real value lies in being a defensive leader. I personally think Robert Williams was the better defensive player on that team. All right, so you guys said you're at 16.
Yeah.
So I got CJ McCollum at 18. For me, this is where I kind of divide the list. I feel like this is the beginning of the star players or the all-star caliber players. So everyone below this, I feel like, has not yet shown that they're all-star caliber. I feel like Jalen Brunson is probably closest to that,
Okay.
honestly.
So Marcus Smart's an all-star.
No. Marcus Smart's not an all-star.
Just
Okay.
keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got Freddie.
Yeah.
You have the lowest Fred VanVleet placement. I will say that.
Yeah.
But
No, I know I do.
okay.
Um,
You haven't really missed much. We had some
Yeah.
controversial ones. I said, like Corby said, Ben Simmons at 20 or some. I said Dejounte at 19.
I mean, honestly, like, so 16? Is that what Corby's on?
Yeah,
now?
Corby's got
So
16.
Corby's-
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Number 16. What I already said mine.
Yeah, I said mine.
LaMelo Ball.
Who'd you say, LaMelo? Who'd you say?
DeJounte.
Cam 16.
So 16, I've got LaMelo. I just, I'm not as high on him as some other people are.
It's kind of just it. I mean,
it's kind of just it. Like, I personally just don't. I have 15 guys that I would take over him. That's basically it. Like, he got.
Okay.
I personally think that he was an all-star this year. A lot of the reason he was an all-star this year is because he's LaMelo Ball, not necessarily because of his performance. He's entertaining.
oh, you think that's bias?
Yeah. He's entertaining to watch for sure, and that definitely contributes to how well people like him. He's very entertaining, but when you look at his actual production, his 2 play-in games, what he's actually done, he's just not as good as the. I just wouldn't take him over the 15 other guys.
I guess, bro.
I mean, for me, real quick, every single other East guard that I have over him was an all-star. So I still think LaMelo did deserve to be an all-star, but I still think that you can
I'm not
still
saying
do
he
well.
didn't deserve it. I'm saying that I think part of the reason he was an all-star was because he's LaMelo Ball and because he, has a lot of publicity.
Okay.
Because he plays for Michael Jordan's team too, and because he's a flashy player and he's fun to watch.
Okay.
I'm going to get crucified for this.
Probably.
At 16,
Sit you all.
I have Chris Paul. At 16.
Yo,
It's,
you're.
it's,
Ooh,
it's
okay.
time to stop lying to ourselves. Okay? This,
Just to the one series.
and it's not just one
We're
series.
talking about the best playmaker in the league.
He
right
is
now.
the best playmaker in the league, right?
For his lack of scoring, he's able to get over
He's a great player. He's a good player. He's amazing. He's absolutely terrific, right? I don't think he can win.
I will
I don't
say-
think he can win. But I think
Went
he.
to the finals.
Wait, he
odd
can't
thing.
win?
I don't think he
he
can
went
win.
to the
I don't think he can
finals.
win a chip. He can't win a chip.
But
You're not gonna win
LaMelo
shit.
Ball can next season.
Not next season, but eventually.
So what are we saying?
I'd rather have LaMelo Ball than Chris Paul next season.
But this isn't for the next 5 years.
Next season,
Like,
I'd rather have
This
LaMelo
is,
Ball.
this is the beginning of next
Next
year.
season, I'd
I
rather
will
have
say Chris Paul has kind of turned into a cone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
his defense is very overlooked. He can't score the ball well at all.
He has
He's
no
a great
leverage.
passer. He's a good passer. That's it.
Now,
That's about it.
I will say,
How far does being a good passer get you amongst these point guards?
Chris Paul averaged 17 points a game in the playoffs, so he's obviously scoring at a decent, and he wasn't inefficient too. The other thing about Chris Paul is while his on-ball defense has significantly dropped off,
Oh.
I think his off-ball defense has always been better than his on-ball defense.
That's true.
I've heard him talk about how he plays defense, and a lot of it is exposing bigs who don't know how to handle the ball properly
is
when they're
true.
in the post.
I will say Chris Paul in the post gets trips. It's actually crazy.
So
But
he's an intelligent defender, but
Yeah.
physically the
He's one of the.
drop-off-
He's probably. I'm telling you, he's an MVP. He's a Hall of Famer. First ballot Hall of Famer. One of the best players in the league. One of the best passers in the league. One of the smartest players in the league.
Well, obviously not one of the best
his
players.
intelligence
Yeah, if he's 16, he's on
Dude, no,
one of those players.
like a 16th best point guard is actually like good compared to the other lists.
Maybe
Like,
top 50, barely. Is that really one of the best?
I'd actually probably.
Is
yeah.
he a top 25 guard in the NBA.
Shooting guard and point
Because
guard.
shooting guard is an interesting.
That's a combo for
Shooting
another
guard's
day.
weak. Shooting guard's weak.
Yeah,
It's
shooting guard's
weak.
weak.
Definitely when you
I
look
don't
at your
He's like a
list.
top 5 shooting guard still, by the
Yeah.
way. That's crazy.
Mhm.
All right.
But even the point guard is a you added Trey and Dejounte.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's
It's fine.
interesting.
We'll-
Would you
we'll get
rather
to that
have
another day.
Clay or Chris Paul?
That's a crazy. That's another.
We can
Yeah,
talk about
That's an
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying now. I'm just saying that's an interesting thing to think about.
That's something to think about.
Okay.
Totally different.
15.
players.
number 14.
15.
15.
Oh, number 15.
Yeah.
I have Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
He's cool. He was an all-star. He kind of dropped off the second he became an all-star.
Mhm.
In the playoffs, he kind of disappeared. Yeah. I mean, he has good defense. That's why I put him over LaMelo. But other than that, yeah, I don't know.
15. I have Cade Cunningham. I'm not gonna lie, I did not
Solid.
watch a lot of Cade, but
Solid.
Yeah,
from the other dudes I did watch, I think he's better than him.
I got crucified for saying I was watching the Pistons one day.
You were watching the Pistons before Cade was playing.
Yes.
Yeah, Corbin, that was bad.
Cade wasn't even playing.
Cade wasn't playing.
What are you talking about?
No, you were watching.
No, we
Pistons
talked
at the
about this.
beginning of the year.
No, I said I was watching the Pistons post All-Star break. Cade missed the first 8 games.
Corbin, we made fun of you when you were watching the Pistons like the first week.
It
of
was
the-
like- you were
watching it some over crazy game. That's what it was.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like Warriors Bucks was on TV or something. You were watching.
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like the day before the All-Star break, or maybe like it was right before an All-Star break or event happened. I don't know. It was so weird.
It don't matter. It don't
might be
matter.
right before the Super Bowl.
It
I'm not
don't
lying.
matter. Cam, let's hear.
So
That might have been
15,
it.
I
I
have
think that's
Dejounte Murray. I think his numbers are slightly inflated by the fact that he was on the Spurs this year. But overall, I think he's still an
you said
all-star
Dejounte
caliber
yet?
player.
No, I won't say him for a while.
That's bias.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
why?
Bias. Crazy.
Well, it depends what you define a while as.
I'm not gonna lie, my bias.
Corby is.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say it, but it's
Okay.
Is he top 10?
We'll get to
I'm
it.
not
We'll
gonna say
get to
it.
it. We'll get to it.
I'm not saying yes or
Um,
no to that.
I feel like Dejounte is probably he's a top 5 defensive point guard.
Is he?
Easily,
is.
easily.
He
Stop.
He is. He is.
He is.
I'll say as the number 1 option, he's not. But
He is.
if he's gonna be on the Hawks, he will.
You
He
know,
will
he
be.
will be very valuable to the Hawks, especially for where Trey's weaknesses are. He's going to do a lot to balance out those weaknesses, and I feel pretty good about putting him at 15. He's not better than the other 14 guys.
At 15, I got Freddie VanVleet. Bucket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 14, I have Tyrese Halliburton. Am I the highest?
Yeah.
Somewhere? Okay.
Yeah.
I just think I think he'll be one of the greatest, maybe top 10 playmakers ever. I just think his vision in year 2, and it's kind of weird. He plays a lot of 2K, and I heard something that said like, man, like playing 2K actually gets your vision better defensively and offensively, just vision, not any other intangible. And I can kind of agree with that, but yeah, not obviously.
Well,
just because-
DeAndre Ayton plays 2K.
that's crazy. No,
Getting, like, you don't do nothing.
I mean, he's still top 5, debatably.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
All right. 14. I also have Tyrese. Same things you said. I also love me some Tyrese, so maybe a little biased, but
So I just want to throw this out there now. I already know I'm going to regret my Tyrese placement, but I'm
Yeah.
sticking by it.
Yeah.
14, I've got De'Aaron Fox. I feel like he's going to have a solid year again.
I haven't
this year.
said Fox,
That's
by
high.
the way.
You're crazy, bro.
Keep going.
I already think Cam's
I
pretty
said fuck
crazy.
that 19.
I already think you're kind of crazy.
I mean, you can think I'm kind of crazy, but if you look at his production, now you got Sabonis next to him too. I think he's gonna have a solid year.
Thank you. I respect that.
So you think? Never mind.
You think what? No, say it.
You think Fox's production overall was better than Dejounte's?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
because
They almost got on
Dejounte
the
was a better playmaker, better defender, and even
he's
scoring
on the
wise,
Spurs. He's on the Spurs.
he's
Yeah,
on the
but-
Kings.
yeah,
what
he's
is
on
your
the
point?
Kings.
The Spurs were a worse team than the Kings.
They Spurs almost made the play-in. Quit hating. So
But that's an even
Kings.
better.
The Kings were better than the Spurs. I'm pretty sure the Spurs were better than Kings last year.
The Kings made a
Were they?
play
Yeah.
and push, and they got Sabonis, and they got worse.
They were both equally bad. I promise
Did
you.
the Spurs make the play-ins?
They were like 11 or 12.
Lakers were what? 11.
I think Spurs might have actually played the play.
What were the 10 seed? The Pelicans. Pelicans were the 9 seed.
Oh yeah,
No, Pelicans were 10.
Portland.
No. Spurs were not. Spurs were 10. They
Yeah.
were playing
Yeah,
too.
Spurs made the play-in. I swear, I was like, I remember them.
So what is your argument for? Yeah.
That's kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie. You can't use that argument.
I can't use that argument, I guess. So,
Damn. Okay.
I
At
don't know.
14,
I guess De'Aaron's just better than Dejounte. I don't know.
that's his opinion, I guess. At 14, I got Ben Simmons, the best defender on this list by a country mile. By a country mile, it's not even close. This guy's like, if you look at these guys here, like Ben Simmons is in another stratosphere in terms of defense. He can guard any position on this list. I think only like 1 or 2 other players on this list can guard
I'm
any
gonna get
position.
cooked by Trey, but okay.
He can guard any position. He can guard any position on this list. Best in the fast break on this list. Can play any position on this list, but we have him at point guard.
So the best defender here might have Stratosphere, but he didn't even guard Trey game 1.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. But he did after.
But then they put
That was after Trey
Eyeball on
dropped
him.
38 points.
Yeah, and then they put eyeball on him.
But I will defend Ben Simmons till the day I die.
It's the one that's a guard.
I will be open minded here. He needs to get a jumper. He needs to
He needs to play basketball.
shut the fuck up. Yeah, I have Ben Simmons up.
Did you already say Ben Simmons, Cam?
I haven't said Ben Simmons yet.
Yeah.
Have you said Ben
This is
Simmons?
crazy.
Yes, I said him.
Yeah,
Did you say it?
Yeah, I
Oh,
said
you're
it.
not gonna like
Oh,
me.
I said him lowest, yeah.
I said him.
You're not gonna like
Go to
me.
Ben Simmons.
You're
high.
Number 13, easily by far, probably the highest. CJ McCollum.
Nothing else. He can just score.
Well, he clearly showed last year he could play make. He made the Pelicans.
Dog.
The Pelicans were out of the play-in, and he put him in the play-in. Obviously, has a clear winning impact. I just think his defense. I don't know. I really like the
Someone
Pelicans
saying
team defense.
they care about defense.
Ingram was also injured most of the year, and he came back right when CJ got it.
It wasn't most of the year.
He had stretches.
It was the first 15 games.
So
He had
the,
stretches.
Want to know how I know? Because they started 1-13, and then he started playing again. So I know this. I'm a Pelicans fan.
Ingram-
I would call myself a Pelicans fan.
Ingram missed stretches of games. He would miss weeks at a time.
Yeah.
the one thing I will give CJ is he's played with Dame his whole career, so he hasn't really been given too much opportunity to show what he can do from a playmaking perspective. He's been a second.
Yeah, playmaking wise, let's say yeah.
He's been mostly just a scorer, and that's the role that he's filled. So, I can understand where you're coming from, but yeah, 13.
It's
13's
crazy
a little
high.
high.
Yeah, that's crazy. Huh?
13. I got Fred VanVleet.
So yeah,
He's a bucket, like you said.
bucket.
He's
Solid. He's
yeah,
just solid.
he could controversially be the best player on the Raptor.
He is. He's something.
Controversial,
Yeah, he's
but yeah.
13, I've got Jamal Murray, just because he's coming off injury. But healthy Jamal Murray's higher.
You got that up? You have
I don't care about. I'm gonna leave my boy hanging.
He knows ball. He knows ball. He knows ball.
Yeah, I've got Jamal Murray at 13.
I agree. It's a W take, Camden.
Do you think so? Did you guys see a couple years ago Jamal Murray was like top 5 defensive player of the year?
I know he plays defense. Good point.
I don't still think he's all that. Like
It's not gonna be all that after his injury, bro.
That's the defense. The defense is what's going to be affected the most because it always is.
And his
Offensively,
athleticism.
his athleticism, because some of the plays he was making in the bubble were just pure like athletic ability at the rim.
Yeah.
Obviously he's a very good shooter, but I don't know. I just don't know what he's going to be coming off the injury.
Okay.
Honestly,
13, I have the fastest player in the NBA, De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, after post Sabonis trade, he averaged 28, 6, and 4 on 50% shooting from the field. Post Sabonis trade, he was
how many games was that?
13 games. Remember he sat out the last 2 weeks of the week.
see, I'm not
He
wrong.
sat- he
I just
sat
don't
out-
have all the
He got injured at the end of the year and he
information
just
to
sat
his-
out. He got injured, and so he played 13 games after the Sabonis trade. His last game was in March, and then he sat out after March.
You know a really elite player who like struggled in the first half of the season every year.
Stop bringing up Josh Jackson.
Josh Jackson.
Josh Jackson's not De'Aaron Fox, okay? Stop bringing up Josh Jackson. They're not-
They're the same player, but at the same time,
No. No, they're not. No, De'Aaron Fox is nowhere near Josh Jackson. This is post Sabonis trade. He
Wait,
played
same
20
draft?
Kirby, you're trolling.
Same draft?
You're
They're
true.
one pick apart.
Go
They're one
to
pick
12.
apart.
Go to 12. Go to 12. I think we all have the same player at 12.
No, we do not. I promise
no
you.
way.
Okay.
I have the lowest on this player, and I hate it. It hurts my guts. At number 12, I have Darius Garland. And
Whoa!
it hurts me. I'm not saying I feel good about it.
Dude, he's the player that like everybody likes. Who hates Darius?
Oh, I don't hate Darius Garland.
I love
Dude,
him.
Well, obviously you do. Put him in
Number
the
12?
but I just still think there's a lot of talent left.
That
And
is-
yes, I haven't said the player on my team, but
Whoa! You sent over Dejounte?
yeah. Okay. We're not gonna talk about Dejounte because once Dejounte comes, then I'll talk about him. Okay. Let's go.
12. I have Chris Paul.
Yeah, right.
He's a cone. He's gonna be regressing this year. I think heavily from all the controversy, especially. That Sun team has already gone through a lot, and I don't know.
I'm not telling
They
my dad I
don't.
did
They don't
this.
seem like they want it.
What is wrong with you? All right, we're on 12, right?
Yeah.
Number 12, one James Harden.
Whoa.
That to me,
Okay.
I've never been high on James Harden. Honestly, I wouldn't consider myself a James Harden hater.
Yikes.
I respect what he does from a scoring perspective, but I think he needs to take a smaller role for Philly to be successful. His playmaking,
can't be off the
his
ball.
his playmaking ability minus the turnovers is on par with guys like Chris Paul, but his scoring has regressed so much
That is
in
true.
recent
He
years.
lost a step.
He's really lost a step, and that step was always like that was his. Whether he was taking a step back or getting to the basket,
He
that
lost
first
something,
step.
man. That
It
hamstring
was
injury,
the hamstring. Exactly.
And as
That's
soon
what-
as he
that's
lost that first step, you can tell he's just not getting as much separation
Yeah.
at all. Like
So you're not giving him slack for not having a healthy offseason last season?
Well, he went out partying. That's
the,
why.
The problem is Corby.
He didn't get hurt,
Corby.
Corby.
Corby. The problem is
Yeah, but he was out partying when he was hurt.
I looked at his
That is
stats.
true.
I looked at his stats. His numbers with Brooklyn last year, before he got hurt, are very similar to his numbers with Philadelphia this year.
Do you mean last year's in 21-22?
I mean, last year is in 2020, 2021.
He had amazing numbers. He was like MVP or like MVP conversation, top 5 that year.
If
You don't think he was?
I mean, looking at his like, am I thinking about the right?
I think he was really good. In fact, I'm
What
gonna
year
pull
are we talking about?
2021.
Harden MVP?
No, maybe
He was like
he wasn't
top
an
5
MVP candidate. Was he top 5?
before he got hurt. Because
No.
remember,
No.
yeah, because remember, KD was out for a lot of that.
I mean, I'm
I think he
so
was.
so
I think
regardless,
he was.
regardless.
Here, let me just say his stats real quick. In Brooklyn specifically, it was only 36 games, 25 points per game on 47, 37, whatever his free throw is, and he averaged 9 assists.
Okay,
That's
so
all.
I fucked up. I looked at the stats the wrong way. But regardless, I could give him slack for not having a healthy offseason, but I just feel like that's still going to affect him going forward, like the injury and all that. And he's never been a guy who, you look at and you're like, damn, his work ethic is just so high. Like, he works hard because all of the guys at that level work hard. But I just don't know if he's going to be like, a LeBron or someone like that who can come back from injury and be essentially the same player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to be the lowest on this guy, but at number 12 I have Drew Holiday. He's a great player. Dude locks up anybody and everybody. Offensively in the playoffs, he's had some rough games, bro. Like
That's the only thing. I kind of want to put him lower, but because of the playoff, but it's just
I just can't.
he's the one how like he's crazy good.
he's
Like,
still single-handedly won playoff games with his defense.
I
crazy
can't
good.
justify putting him lower. It just
Yeah.
It feels wrong.
he's crazy good.
Okay, are we
11.
number 11? Okay, I didn't put him top 10. Dejounte Murray, number 11. I just think he's improved literally every single year he's gone into the league. He's improved. I don't think there's any kind of reason. He's obviously practicing. He's playing a lot of pro-ams. I just think he's gonna have an even better season, not statistically, but I will say impact-wise, he's gonna be a better defender just for having a less offensive role. I think he could maybe be a 36% in general 3-point shooter, which is average. That's all you need. All you need is an average. I mean, obviously, the Hawks had Kevin Huerter, and that didn't help him that much, being a top seed. Having shooting next to him, Trey, you need defense. And playmaking.
right, but we're not talking necessarily about how good the Hawks are going to be with Dejounte.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he'll be better as a player. Because he's never had a plateau season. Every single season he's gotten better.
Okay.
Especially since injury. He tore his ACL, and it's still only gotten better. That just tells you it is work ethic. But yeah, that's my 11.
Okay. 11. It's between the two players, but I just think everybody else on this list is just more skilled. I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay.
I love Shai. I love him so much. But the thing is, he's on OKC. He just got Chet. He might regret. He might not go as many stats as he might get.
Yeah.
And he's on a team where he's literally doing everything.
So I will just say, I feel like that actually helps his case a lot because he's legitimately their only offensive threat.
He's playing with Darius Baisley. I mean,
Yeah.
like the numbers he's putting up being
Dog,
the
dog,
main
dog.
focus,
Dort's good.
like the only focus of the defense. I think that honestly boosts his case. But at number 11, I have Chris Paul. I think he's still he might still be the best passing point guard, the best pure point guard in the NBA. But honestly, I just don't know how much his game
If
contributes.
he gets a mismatch, he can get.
If he gets a
I will say.
but how much his game actually contributes to winning in the postseason?
Wait, has everyone else already said Chris Paul?
Yeah.
He had him highest.
I had him highest.
No, I
still think-
Isn't
What'd
so.
you
I haven't
give
said
it
him
to?
Oh, you haven't said him yet?
No.
Okay. I still think Chris Paul is a very good player. I don't think he'll be an all-star this year, which was pretty much my reasoning for dropping him out of the
You don't think they'll give it to him?
I don't think he'll be an all-star.
I think they'll just give it
You
to
don't
him.
think they'll just give it to him?
I think
If they're
they'll-
one seed. You don't think they'll give it to him?
Well, they're not going to be a one seed again. There's no way.
They'll be 5, 6. Oh, actually, that's for
They
another time.
win, bro. They win.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is
but-
I look at Chris Paul and I just there's nothing that makes him this incredible player.
If you say passing, I mean, he can get a bucket on a
Like,
big man.
okay.
But
So what I will say is every single one of the guys that I put above him, I personally believe make a bigger contribution to, winning
yeah.
in terms of like being a contending team. Chris Paul, yes, he carried the Oklahoma City Thunder to a 6th seed, was it? 7th seed or 6th seed when they played? Was it 5th seed? No, it was a 5th seed.
I think it was 5th seed.
Yeah, he carried that team. I mean, they had Shea, but he wasn't where he is now.
I think it was 60 because.
But Chris Paul needs to have the right team around him at this point, at this stage in his career, with his limitations, and because of that, I just can't put him higher because of the fact that it has to be the right situation.
Okay.
At 11, I have Jamal Murray. Rap goat himself. Jamal Murray.
He's not
Crazy to set
someone else.
How was that crazy? I want to I understand how you guys.
So you're giving him the benefit of the doubt that
I
he's
am
going to be a
giving him
25-point
not
game
Jamal Murray at 11 when you said like.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt strictly because he has the big ass motherfucker in the paint with him. Okay, I saw what that guy was able to do with Monte Morris and company, and I'm like, all right.
But we're not talking. Okay,
He's
so
gonna
But we're not talking
we're
about
not talking
Jokic.
about how good.
I know,
We're not talking about Jokic.
I'm saying,
And we're also not talking about how
I'm
good
saying-
statistically a season
I'm
is
saying
going to be.
Jamal
Because if we
Murray-
were talking about, we already used that to like as a detriment
I
to
mean,
Monte Morris.
Ken.
Like,
If Jamal Murray didn't have Jokic on his team, I'd have him lower.
but that we're not talking about how good you're going to be on your team. We're talking about how
Jokic
good
makes
you
him
are.
better.
So why is it Monte Morris higher?
Yeah.
Because Jokic made him better. Now that he doesn't have Jokic, he's going to be worse.
So you're kind of predicting what's going to happen next
Yes,
season. That's kind of what I am doing
This is a
too.
bit of
That's a lot.
projection. This is a bit of
Okay.
projection.
Because, I mean, that's what matters. How much you contribute to winning. It's not how good you are.
Yes.
Westbrook's obviously better than number 30, but it's just, why does it matter how good they are if they're not
That is
doing
Really?
it? You
That's
know?
fair. That's fair.
I mean, okay. Starting number 10,
Yeah.
I got Shea. And I want to put him higher, but just, he hasn't played that many games.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, this last season, he was pretty inefficient if you just look at his numbers. But, like, the season before,
Yeah.
crazy efficient. Probably, like, the most efficient I've ever seen from a young player. But, yeah, I have him over Darius Garland, which is, I don't know. I just think he's just better. Defensively, especially, for sure.
Yeah. 10, I have Darius Garland. Defensively, he's not that guy. He's not there. But he also has Mobley and Jared Allen behind him, so he doesn't really need to have that defensive mind. But he is a damn good scorer.
Yeah.
He's a damn good
Well,
scorer.
I'm glad that we're shifting in this direction of like discussing how well they fit on their teams because it's going to make it easier to justify this.
Yeah.
At number 10, I have Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Top 10 point guard.
What?
I love that. I love that.
Because he is.
Yes,
I'm
he
going to
is.
say a hot
He is.
take.
He is.
I don't think he was top 10, and I told you this. I don't think he was top 10 when he was playing
And
before.
that's wrong.
And point guards have only gotten better.
That's literally wrong.
Incorrect.
You're just a hater.
Okay.
You're just a hater. You're just a
Ben
hater.
Simmons
You're just a hater.
is the most physical, like clearly the most physically dominant force on this entire list.
Yes.
Right. He's the best defensive player on this
Yes.
entire list. Even if he's not the best, guarding like point guards necessarily, he can guard any position 1 through 5.
Yep.
And he can protect the rim. He can guard on ball.
Yep.
He can do anything you want on defense.
Okay, well, that's one side of the ball. What,
Okay,
what
so
about the other half of the
distribution?
game?
You can't underrate his playmaking. Like
People
he can still
forget,
pass.
bro. People
He's still a
forget.
great passer. And yes, his scoring sucks for a guy.
It's not that
who's
bad.
expected to
Like,
be-
you guys
listen,
act like
listen,
it's terrible.
listen.
Yeah, but he can only do one thing.
So in Philadelphia, he was expected to be the number 2 option.
Yes.
That's unreasonable. You can't expect a guy like that to be the number 2 option.
He was
A guy
never
with
the
that-
number 2. He had Tobias.
Tobias wasn't the number 2 option.
Then
Then
he had Jimmy.
Then he also
okay, then that was the year that they were good when he wasn't the number 2 option.
And okay. This is my
So
logic.
what I'm saying is on Brooklyn, if Kevin Durant is still in Brooklyn at the beginning of the year, that team will fit Ben Simmons very well.
I think Ben Simmons quite literally can't be top 10. Just for this, but this is my logic. He is not a center, and he cannot shoot. Most centers cannot shoot. Now there's already 2 players who just can't shoot, and the rest of the 3 scorers just have less room to operate when you have that kind of spacing.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
His
fair.
size
But the
doesn't
Nets,
grant him
the
a
Nets have
advantage.
all the spacing you could ask for.
Oh yeah, Nicholas
Okay.
Claxton is just spreading the floor.
Okay.
He's
Fucking Nicholas Claxton isn't going to space the floor.
starting.
He's gonna
Like, I'm
start.
sorry. Okay, Clint Capella's not going to space the floor either.
Okay, that's why I wouldn't want Ben Simmons on my team.
2 players who can't shoot, can't even score
And
mid
Kevin
range.
Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, but you saw what happened to them when they didn't have him. They got fucking swept.
They just replaced terrible shooting Bruce Brown with worse shooting Ben Simmons.
Yes.
Okay, but Ben Simmons brings so much more
The
to the
Ben
table.
Simmons
Like,
hate needs to stop. It needs to
So
stop.
what-
It needs to
but
stop.
y'all
When I stop when I
He will
when I see it.
he will shut you both up next season.
When I see
He
him
will
do
shut you
something,
both up
yeah.
next
There's just at the end that this is my thing.
y'all are literally hating on a guy that could be considered top 5 defensive player in the league.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider him that. That doesn't mean so. But
Like,
he's Bible's top
he's a
10.
top 5
and he's nowhere even
defensive
near top 30 small forward in my opinion.
He's a top
So
5
what-
defensive player with his height and his
With his height,
passing
point guard
ability.
position is
He's probably a top 5 playmaking.
I'm gonna
Point guard.
I'm gonna say something.
No.
Ben Simmons,
close.
despite his inability to shoot,
Top
Ben
10,
Simmons is low key. The coaches got a game plan around him. You
Game plan
can't
around
guard him with a point guard.
It's easier to game plan around him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put Trae Young on Ben Simmons.
Why?
I'm just saying you got to put a bigger body on.
In fact, that would actually work. Look at the play.
Okay, if you want to talk about mentality, then that's
different.
fine.
This is
Because he
body
needs to
work.
get his mental right. He needs to get his head right. He wants.
Yeah, but
he's
mental is a
got,
part of basketball.
he's got to want to play basketball. But from a skill
So having
perspective,
to Paul
from a
George
skill
when his mental was bad.
From a skill perspective, he's higher than number 10.
There you
Okay.
go. Thank you, Cam.
And from a skill perspective, Giannis isn't the best player in the league, but obviously
He's
he is.
I'm including physical ability and skill. Your entirety as a basketball player is included. Like saying that LeBron James isn't a top 2 player of all time because he's big is
Cam,
like,
But he's also one of the skill. He's also the most
That's true, but bag matters more than physical attributes.
No, I'm agreeing with you. But as a basketball player, all of it comes together to make what you are as a basketball player, right? We can't discount someone just because they have the physical attributes to make them great.
But I'm not discrediting because he's tall or athletic. I'm
Just let
discrediting
it
because
slide.
he's
Just let it
not.
slide. Just let it slide.
I'm not saying so when I talk about skill and ability as a basketball player, I'm not talking about his bag and I'm not talking about, how well he can create his own shot. I'm just talking about what he can do as a basketball player. Because obviously, if he had his passing ability at 6'1", he wouldn't be as good of a passer. But because he's 6'10", and he has that passing ability and he can see over the defense, it makes him a better passer.
Okay, let's skip past it. We can talk about this another time. Not gonna lie, it's fun.
Um,
What do you have, Mateen?
This is just literally just extreme bias. I'm not even gonna try and hide it. Number 10, I have LaMelo Ball. I don't want to explain nothing. It's just bias. I have LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, but I'm not even gonna get into the other bias.
It's just bias.
It's only common sense.
It's strictly bias. It's strictly bias.
Okay.
It's strictly bias.
Number 9, I have Drew Holiday, and he's just I don't have to explain it. He's so good at defense. That's it. And he can spread the floor.
9. I have LaMelo. I would have put him lower, but I just didn't have enough time and I just didn't think about it right. But
We have him higher than Mateen.
yes,
Where would you put him now?
where do I put him now? Probably 10 through 15. Probably like 12.
Luke's my goat.
All right, so number 9, I have Darius Garland. I love his offensive game. I think, like you said, defensively, not the greatest player, but when you've got Jared Allen and Evan Mobley on your team with you, that kind of, it's hidden. And offensively, he's got all the tools. He can shoot from anywhere. He can play make. I think he's gonna be really good this year.
Okay. I'm not mad. I put him the lowest, but I can still see easily how he could be way higher.
So number 9,
Yeah.
James Harden. Solid, but he used to be higher. He fell off. I gave him a downgrade. James Harden.
At number 8, I have Chris Paul.
Okay.
8. I have Drew Holiday. People think he's not this guy in the playoffs. He can't score, but look at last playoffs. He was that
He was
number 2
going
guy,
off.
and he brought them to Game 7 versus the eventual Eastern Conference.
Yeah. And I will say, even though he wasn't that good as a number 2, there was no number 3 scoring option on
Exactly.
the Bucks.
It was literally just
It
them
was
two.
just them two. Oh my, that's crazy.
So for me, number 8, I got Shea. I love his game. He's just so slithery the way he gets through guys in the paint. I think you put Chet on that team with him, it's going to give a boost to his assists because he's going to actually have someone to pass to. And I will let it be known, I'm not exactly high on Chet, but I do think that he's what 7'2". Is he almost 7'3"?
7-1. I think it was 7-1.
So, and he can shoot. He can do all that. He's another offensive threat for Shea to pass to. And, yeah.
I will say, Shea being the best ISO scorer does help Chet. I don't know. Who's yours?
8, I got Darius Garland. I would say a take that gets me canceled, but I don't really want to do that
What's
right
the
now.
take?
I want to hear it.
Get canceled real quick. We need someone to get canceled.
I have a belief that Darius Garland could be the next Steph Curry. in terms of how he moves off the ball with his gravity. and
What
the way
what is
he
the point of comparing them? I really want
I
to know.
literally just said the way that he plays.
Darius Garland is just a different player than Steph
Yeah,
Curry.
he
Like,
is.
Play is
I'm
different.
talking about
His
the
off
gravity.
ball,
I'm
his,
talking
off,
about the
his gravity and his
Talking about
off
the
ball
gravity.
ability, but that's yet to be seen.
With that logic, Dame is the next Steph Curry.
Dame that can't do it off ball. Dame can't run off screens. Dame
He's
can't
just
do
never
it.
had the chance.
Does he do it? How old is he? 33? What
What
is
do
he
you
gonna
mean?
do
What
it?
do you mean he's never had the chance? He's never been willing to do it.
I don't know.
Yeah, DJ.
Being the
Don't
best
get it
player
right
on the
ball.
team and deciding to play off ball and not be ball dominant is a choice. It's not something that just happens to you.
Once again, I'm not saying Garland is Steph Curry. I'm not saying he's as good as Steph Curry. I'm saying he has the potential to play like Steph Curry. That's it.
But to play like Steph Curry, you need a Draymond. You need a Draymond. Steph Curry's not Steph Curry without Draymond.
Evan Mobley and
Thank
Jared Allen can work in a screening role
Thank
off ball. You don't need Draymond Green specifically.
You still need someone with huge vision.
The things that I was
Nobody
seeing
does
Garland.
We need another playmaker
The
next.
things I was seeing
I don't know.
Garland do.
Sexton isn't it?
Sexton's
Yeah,
a scorer.
Sexton's not it.
He's a scorer.
And
Sexton's not on the team.
yeah, where's
He's not
Sexton
on
gonna
the
even
team.
go?
We don't-
Isn't his one offer like 3 years?
3 years, 41
41
million,
million.
or you can take the restricted 1 year.
He's not even starting.
He'll probably come off the bench.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
crazy because Sexton's good. But
Number 7, I have Kyrie Irving. I don't know. He could be above some other players, but he's had a lot of playoff series where he doesn't show up. He just that's just including just this last year. That's where I have him.
7, I have James Harden.
yeah,
Regressing, but also still, that dominant playmaker. He's improved his playmaking throughout the years, in my opinion.
yeah.
But if he can improve in scoring and maybe do more, then I think it'd be better.
Number 7, I got Drew Holiday.
Oh, it's really high.
Yeah, he's a little high.
Wow.
But
I'm not even joking. When you said that, like my head hurt. Like, it actually,
Okay.
I just got a
look,
cramp.
I can't justify dropping him in spite of his struggles in the postseason because during the regular season he shot 50% from the field and 41% from 3. So he's obviously a talented scorer,
And
he's
yeah.
probably, I would say, he's I obviously think that Ben Simmons is the best defender on this list. I would say he's the second best defender from a defensive skill perspective. Like I said, Marcus Smart's skill, kind of similar to Draymond's, is in being a defensive leader and in organizing the defense when he's on the court, right? But he's not necessarily, he's not going to be. I mean, Marcus Smart locks people up, but like, give me a one-on-one, and who am I taking on defense? I'm taking Drew Holiday over Marcus Smart.
I think the Bucks, Drew Holiday and Giannis are both the 2 best clutch defenders in the league. Just making a clutch play. Both have done it in the finals, leading up to the finals for a playoff run. Drew Holiday was like 3 times in one game. Just
Kawhi?
stripped Marcus
I mean,
Smart.
I don't know.
How many clutch moments has Kawhi had?
Kawhi blocked.
Kawhi had the block on Harden,
and he
right?
blocked Jamal Murray's dunk with one finger.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
and then that. So
I mean,
I honestly, like, this is off topic, but people are really starting to have some recency bias when it comes to Kawhi and not having seen him play
Yeah.
a year. That guy's top 5 in the NBA when he's healthy.
I agree with that.
That's wild.
I'm not gonna say who I'm taking him over, but
Number 7, I have Shea.
oh, okay.
Shy. I don't even want to say
Mhm.
it.
No, you had it right.
Yeah.
Why'd you disagree
But
with
some
it?
people say it differently.
Yeah, but it's okay.
But dude's got a bag like no one else I've ever seen. He's crazy.
Number 6, I have James Harden. And I don't even want to be high on James Harden, but it's one season. I don't know. I really think that he could just come back. I think he's already
He's old,
made
bro.
strides to win more than he ever has by taking the pay cut. Now, I don't even agree with him taking the pay cut. I think he should have just took the money. But I mean, if he thinks he has too much money, then go ahead. But I think that the players have fought so much to get all their money that they can, and for him to take a pay cut, that's for a different time. I don't know.
Number 6, I have Kyrie Irving. In my opinion, the most skilled basketball player in the world.
That's facts.
He's my second favorite player to watch, and I think if Kevin Durant is not on the Nets next year, I think he could be an MVP candidate.
that's not crazy to say.
That's not crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy to say. Number 6. I already know some people aren't gonna like this. I have John Morant at
That's
6
kind of low, bro. That's kind of
because John Morant, to me, is not yet a superstar.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not yet a superstar.
I don't know about that, man.
Let's just move, bro.
Let's just
Let's just
move
move.
on.
I think the other
Please,
5
can't just-
superstars. I don't think Ja is a superstar yet. He repeats what he did last year. This year, He's a superstar.
Do you have to prove something in the playoffs to be a superstar?
I feel like he has, but this is where
No, do you have to?
Yes, you have.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
For me, what brings Jaw down is what I mentioned before. He can be very inconsistent sometimes, and he doesn't have a reliable jumper.
It was better.
Yeah.
It was better in the playoffs. It was way better. If he stays healthy in that Golden State series,
Jaw
that
was
series
doing
goes to
crazy
7.
shit in the playoffs.
No,
man.
he
Um,
okay,
not versus the Timberwolves,
not
but
versus
versus the Warriors.
Who was the leading scorer against the Timberwolves? Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain's like
Bain.
that.
Because
Yeah.
Desmond,
But I'm talking about like, dude, like against the Warriors.
yeah. Again, I think, and if he would have stayed healthy for that whole series,
I think,
and I got a
think
larger
they won.
sample size to look at what he was doing, I think they might have won that series.
That's
I gotta be honest.
Crazy.
As the Warriors,
Jaw's got to be
as the
top
Warriors.
five.
Oh, I actually agree too. I'm not gonna lie. They could have
Jaw.
I
Jaw
think-
was going off.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
He averaged 38.5 points.
Tough
Yeah.
winning games.
Did he have 40 something in a game? One of those games?
He had.
I think it would be average 38.
First game,
Yeah.
first game, he had like 30. He was. Yeah, he was going off.
All right. All
He
right.
was the best player in that series when he was healthy.
At number 6.
There's the Kyrie.
What?
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Kyrie.
Okay. Thank you.
I was so tempted to put Dame here, but
Oh, really?
I put Kyrie at 6.
Okay.
All right.
At number 5, I have John Morant. So it was one spot away. I really think he struggled, and I really prioritize if you're really bad in the first round, and then you go off in the second round. Like I don't know. I just really think, yeah, if his teammates didn't show up in that first round, and he's supposed to be the one guy to really show up, he wouldn't have even made it to the second round to prove himself. So I just think, I don't know.
Listen,
And I-
To be fair, though, the perimeter defense on the Timberwolves is highly better than the perimeter defense on the Warriors.
But John Morant wasn't showing any. Like he literally just kept driving to the basket. Half of his points were probably free throws, and I'm not even exaggerating about that. He just kept throwing himself into. I hated watching him. I actually did.
Okay, Trey fan.
I mean, okay, for me, Jaw is definitely him, and he will. I think Jaw will win an MVP.
That's not a hot take.
That's not a hot take, but I think Jaw will win an
That's a cold
MVP.
take.
It's like that's the coldest take you've said today.
That's probably
That's the coldest take you've said today.
Probably.
Number 5, I have Trey Young.
Okay.
I just can't take a guy who scores single-digit points in the playoffs.
It's Miami, bro.
Okay.
John Morant probably did it once. John Morant probably did it once.
Look at what he did the year before.
He's not doing. Trey Young did it
Look at what
multiple
Trey did
games.
the year
Did he
before.
average it?
Nah, Trey was.
Okay, it doesn't matter if you average it. If you actually put up single-digit
Trey,
points.
No, no,
Trey had the city
that's
of New
sad.
York in shambles.
We're not talking about last season, though.
No, we're not.
That was last
Number 5, I have Kyrie Irving. I just,
Yeah.
it's Kyrie.
Yeah.
He's probably the most skilled ball handler you've ever had in the NBA, next to Allen Iverson. And when he's on, I don't know if there is a more unstoppable
60,
player.
bro, against the Magic.
I don't think if there's a more unstoppable offensive player other than like
He's
Kevin
unguardable.
Durant.
I'm not going
I
to
know, dude. He gave Jalen Suggs work. Care if he scored 60?
Oh, dude, you're the same guy who hates on the board.
Yeah.
No, we have to do a shooting guard list. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see you see.
Oh, no,
save
let's
up.
do everything.
No, I
Let's do
wanna-
everything.
no,
Who's your 5?
for 5, I got Dame.
Okay.
Dame Dollar, Mr. Clutch.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 4, I have Trae Young. I think both Trae and John Morant were bad in that first round series, but at least Trae Young showed that he can carry a team, for real. So that's just it was very small. In fact, I think even in I don't know if he was better in the playoffs in that first round specifically, John Morant could have been over him. But
Yeah.
that's what I got.
I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
All right.
What was it, number 4?
When you guys on your way, I gotta go drug their dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 4, I have Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
We know who Damian Lillard is, but we haven't seen him be consistent in the last year. And if he can lead the Portland team to at least a playoff contention, then I think he'll be that guy.
I have Dame at 4 too. Just partially because of last year and some of his struggles, but looking back at what he did the last 2 years before that, especially that one playoff game against Denver.
Yeah. When he did everything and
We-
TJ
dude, there
stepped
was-
out of bounds.
There was wasn't there 6 of us watching on one little phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at Jimmy Ranch watching that on like one little phone
Watching
because we
Damian
couldn't get it
Lillard
on the
go
TV.
off.
No, that was
the craziest
that
game
might
ever.
have
I'm not
been
gonna lie.
that might have been the greatest playoff performance I've ever seen in a losing effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would still put Giannis's
Game,
finals performance.
or, like,
Not series.
50.
LeBron is
Yeah.
for one game. Dave, yeah.
Yeah.
At number 4, I have Derrick Rose. I have John
John
Morant.
Morant, yeah. That-
I have John Morant at 4.
Okay.
okay. Number 3, I have Dame. I'm the only one who had him this high. I just think
Played, man.
Dame, he's never. Okay, he did once. In 2018 against the Pelicans, he went out like a Trae Young and John Morant. But since then, he will never go out like them two did.
That is facts.
So that just, yeah. Even though he did play bad, I am recency bias.
Didn't AD,
It was only like
it AD?
25 games he played that he played
Was
bad.
it AD that took him out? The
AD,
Pelicans?
Drew
Holiday
Holiday.
and Rondo.
Yeah.
Number 3, I got my second favorite player in the league, John Morant. He is just, he's different. I've never seen a guy be that athletic at the point guard and carry a team.
It's crazy.
He jumps. Man.
Run and dunk man.
Number
You'll
3.
shoot next year, don't worry.
What's his name?
Number 3, I have Trey.
Alright.
I mean, this guy led the NBA in total points and total assists last year.
He's,
You have to know. That's
There's something to be said-
crazy.
There's something to be said for that. I understand he struggled this last series against Miami. Dejounte's going to help with that, I think, for sure.
where'd you have
But
Trey?
4.
I don't know. I feel like people are forgetting that he had an incredible playoff run just the year before that,
DJ.
and he had it. Huh?
He didn't. What defense did he play besides
Ben Simmons.
Ben
apparently.
Simmons, Matisse Thybulle.
Apparently the best-
I was
point-
about to
best
say
defending
besides
point guard
Ben
ever.
Simmons. What other defense did he play? Like besides the Sixers.
The Knicks are a good defensive
Drew
team.
Holiday?
Drew.
Sure, yeah.
He was going off.
And the Knicks are a good defensive team.
He
Yeah.
went off. He went off. But they weren't the Heat. They weren't the Heat. The Heat's defense was different.
Yeah, that's true.
That's because the Heat just swarmed him and dared the other players to beat him.
Yeah, because they didn't
And that
have
team wasn't
anybody
as
else
good this year as
besides
they were the year
DeAndre.
before,
Hunter.
though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He popped
Um,
off.
He was hurt.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, you mean this? Yeah, last year was hurt, but this year he went off. Bro.
Number 3, I have Steph Curry. I got Trey. I got Trey at 3.
Okay. Number 2,
I'm not. I'm actually gonna be pissed if. Okay.
Luka Doncic. There's something about being the Finals MVP or just the best player on the winning team. I have to give you the benefit of the doubt, just being the best. Even though I don't have him at number 1 or 2 in players in the league, but still, just he's good. Steph Curry's good. Hot take, but Luka's a 2. He's amazing.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Steph Curry.
Okay.
We all know who Curry is, but the team around him is stacked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way more than Luka's. And but obviously Finals MVP, go, obviously.
Steph Curry makes that team look stacked. Can we be honest?
I
Can
was
we be
actually
honest?
thinking- I was thinking that. Okay.
Having
They're
Jordan
not-
Poole come off the bench is crazy, bro.
But listen.
Jordan Poole's on the bench, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Clay isn't what he used to be.
Jordan Poole's
We know
off the
that.
bench.
Jordan Poole's been better than Clay. So
I know, but
let's just
Jordan-
take Clay off the bench.
Yeah, that's what I'm
because
saying.
That, in terms
Hey,
of skill,
Clay's
that's
off
how
the
it
bench.
is.
Plays off the bench.
That's even crazy.
That's even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That guy is under every game.
I didn't.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, I have Luca.
Fuck yourself.
But I will say I think he'll be number 1 by the end of the year.
White boy.
But
Okay.
I think that honestly, I'll say it when I get to 1. Luca's a great
We're gonna
player.
get to 1. Everybody knows you're 1 when you say
No,
number
I'll give my reason for putting him.
Okay.
One.
Number 2, I have Curry, which obviously means I have Luka at number 1, strictly because there is not a better basketball player than him at the point guard position. There is not a better basketball player than Luka Doncic that plays point guard. There is not.
Yep.
The way he controls the game by walking the ball up the court.
Yeah.
Who the fuck can do that in the league?
From what I saw him do to my Clippers was absolutely
He's a nightmare.
it made me want to.
No, I think
maybe want to throw
When
up.
I gotta be honest, when I saw that the Warriors were playing the Mavericks instead of the Suns, I was shitting myself because I just saw what that man
With
did
the
to
right team
Suns.
around him, I'm being dead serious. With the right team around him, Luka could end his career as the GOAT. If Luka finishes his career with like 6 or 7 rings, if he wins,
6 or 7, that's never happening.
He's not good. He's not good.
that's hard to do. But he's, you know how young he is still. Like people, like we're talking about him like he's in his prime.
The one
right
thing
now.
I
he's
will
like
say,
23.
He's for as big as he is, he's a defensive liability.
He's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was very bad on defense, but hopefully,
Okay.
it's honestly I think he's bad on defense.
Steph Curry is not that all that.
Cam,
Steph Curry's not all that, but I think out of these top 5 guys, I think he might be the best defender out of those top 5 guys
What
that I
the
have on my
fuck
list.
did-
Oh yeah, easily. What?
He's better than. Is he not a better defender than Kyrie?
Yes.
yes,
Or Dame.
no,
Or Dame.
Better than
Better than
Dame.
Dame, but not better than Ja. Ja has that.
I didn't
Yeah.
say tops. I have
Oh, you
Jaw
didn't
at
have
6.
Ja.
So I think
No.
Jaw's a better
I
defender.
think
That's
he's
a
better
cop
than
out. That's a cop out.
Wait, what are we talking about? Why do you have to like Jaw some sort of like average defender?
No, I'm
He's
saying
way below.
No, he's below, but I'm saying his athleticism makes up for the fact that he's a bad defender.
Doesn't, because
he
he-
can literally just run and jump and get a crazy block.
I mean, that's true, but he makes
How
more
often
highlight.
did he do that in the
He makes
playoffs?
more highlight plays than he makes good defensive plays. Like honestly,
true.
he gambles too much on defense.
He
and
does.
he
I saw him grab
throws it-
shit with
2 hands off the.
That was a
fucking
crazy
glass.
defensive play, but that doesn't make him a good
What's his
defender.
name?
He's
Okay,
a
anyway,
D
back to
minus
Luka.
tier defender.
Back to
He's-
Luka.
he's way
The
a
only
little
reason
better.
Luka's a bad defender is simply because he's out of shape. He gets too fucking tired.
Yeah,
and he doesn't
so
wanna play
put him in
games.
shape.
He's about no, he's about to be in shape this season.
And when he's in shape,
Then I already said I think he'll be number 1 by the end of the year.
Luka's the best player in the league. I don't care what position.
The
it is.
best player in
He's
the
the
league.
best player in the
You
league.
think he's
But
better
he's
than
the most
Giannis?
skilled player in the
You
league.
think he's better than
He's
Giannis?
most skilled. He's more skilled than Giannis. And he
Better
did.
than Jokic.
More
I know
skilled,
Jokic's
but that
better.
doesn't mean he's
Sorry,
better.
Jokic.
Jokic's better than Luka. I'm not mad at it.
yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
Better basketball. Number 1, Steph Curry. He can shoot.
Really?
Okay.
Personally, I'd lock it up.
Really? He would?
Okay. The
Okay.
same dude who said he'd lock up
Okay.
Shaq.
I could guard front check.
Like, it's all fun and games, so Hunter's guarding Luca.
It's all fun and games until Steph Curry is standing
Remember
right
first
there.
game,
all
Hunter
fun and
in
games.
first match.
It's all fun and games.
Blew him out of the
Austin
water,
Reeves
bro.
is guarding
Yeah.
Shits and giggles until someone.
What did Luca do that game? Nothing, probably. Okay.
Alright.
You. Oh, I guess we're done.
I got Luka. So.
Luka.
We kind of start with Steph.
Luca, Steph, Luca. Yeah. Okay.
Even though Steph had a down year last year.
It was a long episode.
It was.
Yeah.
was.
I think shooting guard might be longer.
I don't think it will be.
Shooting
I
guard, we're gonna burn through the first 20 on the list
You
because
think
there's
you're
like
There's a,
gonna be
huge,
nothing
there's
to
a
talk
huge drop off in like every other position. Point guard's just loaded, bro.
Yo, when I'm debating Malik Monk versus Kevin Herter, like. Okay. Well,
Hunter ain't even on your team anymore.
We got a playoff game to win.
I know that's fine. I still like him. I mean, I don't love him. I like him. He's cool. Okay. How often do you guys want to do this?
I feel like if we can try to do it
Like-
once a week,
Once. I was
but
maybe
no,
like,
that's not gonna work with you at
Yeah,
college. Once a month,
we'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
twice a month,
Yeah.
something
Okay.
like that. All
Time to play our playoff game. We're gonna. lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Let's
lose.
go.
All right. See y'all later.